skibidi. Skibidi Biden, skibidi skibidi Biden. 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 Joe Biden, skibidi. Skibidi Biden, skibidi skibidi Biden. 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 Skibidi Biden, skibidi skibidi Biden.
Skibidi, skibidi.
Skibidi Biden, skibidi skibidi.
Can you even fucking believe that they're letting Stephen Colbert go? That they're firing him? And that the Late Show is now fucking gone forever? Can you even imagine that this is a thing in our reality? That for some reason the comedy stylings of Stephen Colbert did not hold up to scrutiny. Let's see. Let me truncate this a bit. There we go. It's a weird intro, I guess. Let me fuck with things. Sorry, I'm in my K-hole still. I'm in my realm where I'm thinking about programming still. I guess I'll talk about my tech stuff, my ambitions, my hopes and dreams. This is the podcast where we discuss these things, right? I have nothing more to say about Stephen Colbert. I don't watch television, so fuck him. Though, I mean, I guess in a way, Skibidi Biden was his magnum opium, because I did hear of this. I still think of it occasionally. I still think Skibidi Biden. It just pops into my head and I talk about it. But yeah, he's fucking gone. I don't know if are they going to replace him with somebody else, I wonder? I should probably look this up. Are they replacing Colbert? Yes, they're replacing his slot with Comics Unleashed by Byron Allen. Wow, that is embarrassing. They're replacing him with like a leftist version of like those comic commentators on Rumble? That's insane. That's amazing. The show itself. Hasn't the Late Show been a thing for like 50 fucking years? Hasn't the Late Show been a thing since like the 70s? When did the Late Show start? 1993. Okay, so not quite as old as I thought, but that's as old as me. That's quite literally less than a year after I was born that this show started. And Stephen Colbert spiked it into the fucking ground. Let's go team. So congratulations, you've outlived the Late Show. So anyways, let's talk about my hopes and dreams, chat. I'll tell you what I've been working on. It's so frustrating because it's like, I don't know if this is like a brain parasite thing, if this is like an actual symptom of ADHD. I think I was actually formally diagnosed with like ADHD and oppositional defiance disorder. I think those are my only real diagnoses. So I don't know if this is a symptom of ADHD, but like I mentioned last stream, I like the AI thing because I can micromanage like 5 different projects at once, and it's like a trance. My days go by so fast. I wake up and I pump out 100,000 lines of code across 6 different things, and then it's like I'm blinking at my clock, and it's like, oh, it's bedtime now. Night night, Claude. See you in the morning, pal. And then I wake up and I make coffee, and then I'm just like plugged in again. So when I do disruptions like my streams or when I do a PPP thing, it's like really jarring to me because I'm like, oh, fuck. I have other stuff to do. I have other things in my life that require attention. I look at my inbox and I've got 150 emails just in one inbox. I've got like 50 plus in 2 others. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do the other thing that I'm working on. And then, what was the stickers? I've been meaning to talk to the guy, but I've been putting it off. I've gotten a quote for it. We've settled on like the details. So the next thing I have to do is actually pay them and then start selling them. So this week for sure, just so you know, it will be going up on manattheinternet.com, and there will be the sticker packs. Each sticker pack will probably cost $20 to $25 before shipping, and it will contain 125 individual stickers. It will contain like 28 sticker sheets and then 5 really big stickers that I think everyone will like. So they're going to be vinyl, except for the really big stickers that will actually have the Kiwi Farms URL on it, and it will be eggshell, so it's very hard to peel off. The small ones that you'll get are vinyl and appropriate for decorating your actual possessions and not getting this impossible to peel off sticker on them. But the big ones that are advertisements for the site, those are eggshell. They're UV resistant, I'm pretty sure. Impossible to scrape off without using some kind of chemical and knife to do so. And it has a very topical meme. So I'm excited for that. I'm very sorry it wasn't ready to go for this stream, but as I said, I've been in my Claude hole. I've been microdosing AI vapors for the last week, and when I come out of my little Claude hole and peep my eyes at the surroundings around me, it takes a second to get recombobulated. But such is life. What I have been working on, if you're interested, is I've been working on the search feature for the Kiwi Farms. My room actually gets very hot now because I have that fucking... I was not aware, like I had a 4090 before, and I was like, okay, that's a really big GPU. And in fact, I remember when it came out, everyone was like, this GPU is way too big, and the power consumption is way too over the line, and this is ridiculous, and nobody should ever have that. So I figured, like, the newer generations would probably be more energy performant. They are not. The 6000 Pro is a 600 watt PSU. And when I put it in, I actually couldn't comprehend it. And I didn't cable it correctly because I thought for sure it would work on the same 450 watt cable as the 4090. And that was not accurate. So I had to figure out some way to string together 600 watts through other shit to connect that in parallel. So when I'm running that and I'm actually doing AI stuff, my room gets really hot. The cage where I keep all my hardware gets up to like 84 degrees. So I'm constantly having to like blow cool air on it to keep it cool. So yeah, it's crazy. But what I'm using all that for is I have developed a full stack of machine learning tools that can do the following. It can transcribe a video and audio. It can translate that into 7 different languages, which I've chosen to support, which is English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Polish, and Russian. So everything uploaded to the forum will be translated into those things. It's already kind of sort of live, but it's a little bit janky right now on the live site. However, I'm also working on the search feature. So when you make a post, that'll get indexed. When you make a video upload or an audio upload, all 7 languages are going to be indexed. When you upload an image, it's going to OCR it, and it's also going to come up with a description of it, and that'll help with SEO, and that'll also get search indexed. So in the future, you're going to be able to search Ethan Ralph, let's fucking go, and you might actually be able to find immediately the video of Ethan Ralph saying, look what just came on the radio! It was God's plan. God's plan. So I'm working really hard on that. And it's such a massive undertaking for one person. It would have been completely impossible prior to the advent of agentic programming. But even with agentic programming, it is an immense scope, and it's hard to keep track of what's going on. And like I said, if I'm not like completely in the K-hole enjoying my programming flow, it's like dizzying. It's like, what the fuck? It takes a while to get back in and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing. That's how it was progressing. But it's starting to get there. I'm very excited. I'm testing it very rigorously, and what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to figure out some way to do something with the database so I can test it on the Kiwi Farms before it goes live, because it's such a huge update. And then I can actually rent out a bunch of GPUs from the cloud and process everything that's ever existed on the site. And you'll be able to find stuff from all the way back to 2013 relatively easily, including videos and audio of really old stuff. But that's what I'm... Whoa, buddy. That's right. That's what I'm up to. And it's all engrossing. And it's really what I enjoy doing. And I'm very thankful that the forum now makes money, so I can spend time working on that as opposed to trying to hustle to make other gigs to keep things afloat. So That's my work. I'm sorry. I wish I could show some stuff, but my development environment is on Linux. So my Windows system is completely isolated, so I can't really do that. Oh, and before I move on with the news, I should advertise. If you're not on the locals or the Gumroad, you should get on that because I did a little review, and it's probably of all the Gumroad stuff I've ever done. I think that this is probably the most highly reviewed thing that I've ever done. It just popped. I think someone suggested it to me last stream and over the weekend. I just said, okay, sure, why not? And I asked PPP if he wanted to review the Amazing Digital Circus with me. And he said, sure, why not? So on Tuesday, we sat down and I streamed to him, and we had a discussion, a live viewing of the first 3 episodes of the Amazing Digital Circus. And I was a little bit shocked by how like angry he was. It was hard for me to tell if it was like showmanship anger or if it was like genuine anger, but I lean now towards genuine anger, because he said things at the end of that recording, which I kept in, but it was so angry that I was like, "Are you sure you want to say that? Are you sure you want to put that in the video?" Because he was like shitting on his supporters that had asked him to review this, and he's like, "Fuck you and burn in hell. Anybody that asked me to watch this, I hate you and I don't want your fucking money." And I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want me to leave that in?" He's like, "Yeah, fuck him. I mean it." So. That's basically the synopsis of the review. If you're interested in seeing that, subscribe, and if you want to see more of it, you should indicate so, regardless of who you subscribe to, because I think they're supporting Flake, their editor guy, now that he's been banned from YouTube. So the money on the PPP side, I think, is going to Flake, but I think they got like 20-30 subscribers, and they charge twice as much as I do. So I think he's willing to do another batch. My thought is that we should do the next 5 episodes because there's 8 that are out right now. And then the finale is legally out on June 9th, but it has been leaked. That's one of the updates. I don't have a slide for this on my browser to show people, but episode 9, I think it's a feature-length movie in runtime. So the usual episodes are 30 minutes long each or less. And then the episode 9 is like 90 minutes. So my thought is it would be better to watch 5 small episodes next time, and instead of splitting that to 2 episodes, and then by June 9th, we can review the full episode less hazardously, but assuming that he's willing to do it. However, PPP kind of disassociated during the review. Like he just kept muttering like how much he hated the series and how annoying it was to him and how it was like an assault on his eyes and ears, and he couldn't really form coherent thoughts. And for the next cluster of Clussy episodes, I want him to apply himself more. It's very easy to just lay there and take it and disassociate. You have to live the experience. You have to truly enjoy the slappa. So I'm going to try to keep him grounded a little bit more and be like, what did you think of that? Or what do you think of that? How's that going on right now? Do you appreciate Jax's character development? I need to know what you actually think. You can't just be angry anymore. Yeah, I didn't realize it was such an acquired skill that I had to watch bad things and stay invested in the moment and apply myself to it. But apparently it is a skill. Apparently normal people, when they watch something like The Amazing Digital Circus, they disassociate and think of wrestling. So that's The Amazing Digital Circus. I offered to buy I was thinking about it. I haven't posted a picture of myself in like 6 years. So I was thinking maybe I could buy like a really oversized Pomni hat, which is the name of the Jester girl, and like wear it over my head so you can't really see my face. And I could make that my profile picture for the reviews. But PPP explicitly forbid me from buying a Pomni hat. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I can't. No, don't buy the Pomni hat. Is this a contentious thing? I didn't realize. PPP puts on all sorts of outfits. Why can't I wear a Pomni hat? That's not really a, is that really so bad? Is it like the episode of Goosebumps, The Mask, where they put on the scary mask and it won't come off? It like adheres to their skin. There's another thing that's like that, where like it fuses to their skin. There's a comic of Liquid Chris putting on the Sonichu medallion, and it like fuses to his skin as well, and he becomes Christian again, which kind of became prophetic from the medallion curse. But fish hat. Jim Carrey. Oh, the Jim Carrey mask. That's right. There is a Jim Carrey mask, but no, the Goosebumps one. It also fuses to their skin. It was a really scary episode for kids. She just puts. It's a little girl, and she puts on the Halloween mask, and then she becomes like the Green Goblin. And it's like she's talking to her parents, and they're like, "Little Susie, don't you want to go to school?" And she's like, "Choke on it, you bitch." I'm pretty sure that's what happens in the children's show Goosebumps. It is a lot like Jim Carrey the mask. If you can't get the Pomni hat, he can put on the Jax hoodie. I could. There's a Jax hoodie that's like a rabbit hoodie. That's very Troon coded though, to put on like an animal feature hoodie. I don't know if I can commit to that. The hat is much more tolerable. I do have hats. I don't wear hats ordinarily, but I do have like the Trump hat. Is the Pomni hat truly more embarrassing than a genuine 2015 Made in America, Make America Great Again hat that I bought at a Trump rally in Pensacola? Who knows? Okay, what's next on my list? Okay, there was a Tranime convention sponsored by a porn site, which apparently caused a kerfuffle. Of course, everyone's Oshi, Kiashi responded to this, but Offkai, which I'm aware of, Offkai, if I'm not mistaken, and for some reason I'm actually pretty good at remembering this shit, Offkai is the one that the Gator Gamer went to. And Pryor would hold a iPad around so that people could meet his Oshi. And then met in person later, Kiki Pyong Pyong. In fact, I think, was it Kiki Pyong Pyong? No, it was somebody else. It was Nana Banana. Why do I remember this? There's memories of my childhood that are gone forever. I forgot the faces of people that were important to me years ago. So I can remember that once upon a time, the Gator Gamer went to an anime convention called Offkai, and like a manservant held up his Oshi, Nana Banana, the blonde Puerto Rican, and introduced her to the audience there. And then later, on another year, at a separate occasion, the same Gator Gamer would return to Offkai to meet his Oshi, Kiki Pyong Pyong, in what is the most embarrassing recorded event ever produced in all of human fucking history. Truly, it's like whenever I talk about certain things, like the video of Jeremy Hambly interacting with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire at the TPUSA. Was it TPUSA? I can't remember what it was. But it was at that in-person event that all the Rumble people went to. I categorize that as like an extremely high class memory in terms of locale content. And I need some sort of like SCP like tier list for how I would classify these videos. Like Gator meeting Kiki Pyong Pyong. That's like, what's the highest tier of SCP? That's like an echelon level, okay? That's like an epsilon, a delta, omega danger class artifact that needs to be preserved for all. A Keter class, dude. It's a Keter class locale artifact. I'm not sure if the Jeremy Hambly video with him and Hannah Claire is quite Keter. It's very close though. It's Keter-esque, if I could say so. But it is like that. So anyways, I know what Offkai is, and they announced that Fansly was sponsoring Offkai Gen 5. Now this banner here of find your Oshi on Fansly, which is such a dark statement from an actual pornography company that it kind of defies belief. Fansly I'm only aware of because I know that Anisa Jamha posts her booty hole pictures on Fansly, specifically because she refuses to use OnlyFans, because famously OnlyFans is owned by a rabbi and is one of the most profitable entities on the entire planet in terms of employee wages versus gross income. Like for every dollar that an employee earns at OnlyFans, they make millions of dollars. And they're Jewish and they support Israel and they support Zionist causes in the U.S. So people who want to still sell their butthole pictures on the internet have to go to Fansly if they want to boycott Israel. But they sponsored Offkai, and this caused some concern because if I am informed correctly, which I could be wrong, but I'm basing it off of this, Kershaw says, why is this marketed in the exhibitor hall instead of the after-hours yabai market when this is also a con that allows unaccompanied minors? So a 13 to 17-year-old person, a minor, can go to Offkai and can wander the main convention centers because it's a PG-13 area. So all the anime stuff there has to be appropriate for PG-13, 13 to 17, no pornography, nothing lewd or lascivious. I'm sure that there's lots of really risque stuff, but there's a general bar to be met that does not have to be met at other anime conventions. But the pornography website will be demoed in the main exhibitor hall in plain sight of where the minors can go. Of course, Kershaw not the only one. I've never heard of Ray-Me Ricotta. Oh, she's got a cheese cutie mark, chat. That's very nice. And she's a part of Flavor. She takes umbrage with this. The cheese girl does. Savvy says they're putting a website like OnlyFans on the main floor where there'll be children. This is a not safe for work, safe, horny, max censorship on topics website. In California, it's so weird that if you print out and sign a release form and get it notarized, your 13-year-old can walk around the hall and potentially see this booth all on their own, interact with it. On one hand, as a venerated moral fag myself, who has turned his back on all of his principles so that he can moral fag harder, I appreciate the sentiment. However, I'm pretty sure that any teenager going to Offkai is already on a Discord for anime and already knows what Fansly is. What they might not know specifically is if certain VTubers are posting like not safe for work content on Fansly. If you're showing flesh on Fansly or similar websites, you're not an actual VTuber. That's his issue. That's his issue. If my Oshi is breaking the fourth wall with her anus in vagine on Fansly, she's not a real VTuber, and she should be banished from the hallowed halls of Offkai. May not her disgusting foid masquerade taint the screen of an iPad held by the Gator Gamer if she has broken this sacred pact with the fans in such a terrible and heinous way. Naim. Is that like an Irish name? What the fuck is it? Is it Niam? Niam says, imagine promoting porn at a convention where kids will be walking around discussing. Also, I see let minors attend without an adult. Wow, shake my freaking head, he says. Son, if you found your Oshi on Fansly, I have some news for you. What, that he's just a John? He's just a Mark? I don't know. That could lead into some uncomfortable commentary on the whole industry, Sar. Let's see what this is. Oh, can I put this? Oh, God. Have you been spared? Oh, it's gone. I don't remember what this was, but the title is Butthole Sunning. So I think that you guys have been spared, whatever the butthole sunning is. All right. Okay. Should I put this here? Listen, we're not going to comment on this man's nationality or place of origin. We are going to make a political remark regarding the situation he finds himself in, chat.
So I'm over here in Eden, Ohio, and there's a bunch of foreigners over here. You know,
God.
This guy.
That's such dehumanizing language, chat. I'm so sorry.
Right here, the guy right next to me, all along in all these trucks, okay? None of them can get loads out of Ohio today. And I was talking to the Iman guy right here while I was in there at the Punjabi place getting something to eat. And
this guy's like, they're a bunch of fucking foreigners here. They can't get their loads out. Anyways, I was enjoying some tasty curry slop at the Punjabi place. Sorry, you're very confused.
He said that the reason that they can't get freight out of Ohio today is because the freight brokers won't work with them anymore. Okay? Apparently, what has happened is that You know, yesterday they had the Supreme Court ruling that found brokers could be held liable for accidents with carriers with red flags. Apparently, that the trickle-down effect happened like that. Okay, brokers are just saying, no, there's a whole lot of other trucks. We don't need you. We're not going to use you no more. Okay? I was looking up at some of these DOT numbers to these guys, and they do have a pretty substantial track record of unsafe behavior, accidents, high out-of-service rates, things like that. So, guys, here's what I got to say. This is going to be changing in a hurry. Brokers are not just thinking once about it. They're thinking twice, 3, and even 4 times about who they want to work with. If you're an established U.S. carrier, you know, between 1 and 15 trucks, you better hope to God you have a proven track record with these brokers, because they're on the hook now. They're on the hook in ways that they've never experienced before. So, guys, all I got to say is, you know, you better be going and getting your DOT inspections, better be going and asking, you know, way station operators for a level 1, things like that. Get it on record that you're not getting placed out of service, that you're...
So basically, there was a, did I talk about this last stream? I think I did, briefly. The Supreme Court, in case just as a recap, the Supreme Court made the very obvious, I remember saying this, the very obvious 9-0 decision that, of course, carriers can be held liable under state laws for accidents that are caused by drivers that are from out of the country, which I imagine applies to more, but I assume it's a state law that's like in Ohio specifically, I imagine, saying like if your H-1B driver kills somebody, your company is liable for that. And so a lot of these foreign drivers are being grounded in these states, and they don't want them going through. Which I've always thought should have been like in Trump 1.0 or 2.0, like on the first day, when they were talking seriously about cracking down on immigration before it became a joke. They should have built a wall. You can't build a fucking border wall, but why not have it so that you put state patrols on the highways entering the way stations in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama. And that way, every single trucker that goes through, if they look a little bit sus, you can check to see if they're carded correctly. And that would cut off the eastern seaboard from the western seaboard by truck to any immigrant. And they have to work through those. So it's like, why can't you do that? That's what I would have done. I feel like I'm really smart. You know what I mean? You ever feel like that? Is that like an egoism thing where it's like you're just thinking to yourself like, damn, I'm a lot smarter than most people. But it is what it is. So they're grounded. That's nice. You know, truck drivers can make over $100,000. I wouldn't stop at just being an it says here over the road or long haul 70 to 100,000, and regionals can get 65 to 80, and locals can get 50 to 70, which is nicer if you don't want to be gone from home all the time. But I was thinking, like, the specialized haulers, they start at like 90,000 and go up to 150. If I was going to be a trucker, I would get licensed to carry like nuclear waste. I would want to support the nuclear industry for all those AI data center microreactors. I got to haul all that fucking nuclear waste from that, what used to be a pristine farmland in Ohio, which is now a Vivek Ramaswamy AI data center with a nuclear reactor under it. You got to haul those spent fuel rods to Colorado to dump into the pit. That'd be me. I would do that job. I've never seen they always have those placards on their trucks. Let me show you. As an example of what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've seen these. Hazmat sign truck. Yeah, okay. These things. They have these hazmat placards, and these are the ones you see all over the place. But you see some that have like this, where they have like 47 different fucking things on them. I have never, ever seen a truck that has a hazmat placard for nuclear waste. And there is a thing. Or like infectious substances. I want to see that. I want to see the explosive, flammable, infectious substance, poison gas, radioactive 2 truck. If you guys see one, I want to see a picture of it. Is this even a thing? They don't even have the placards and like the demo stuff. It's just so rare. I want to see like a cool combination of like infectious radioactive poison gas going down the highway. Running off the road. They run at night? Is that true? They don't run the radioactive stuff during the day because it's too dangerous? Is that actually true? Really? That's why I wouldn't see it then. Huh. Okay. I got you. That makes sense. All right. Next. GitHub has been compromised. Here is the announcement. If you don't know, GitHub is the largest premier source of hosting open source and closed source software on the planet. GitHub is the absolute pinnacle of achievement in implementing Microsoft's 1990s famous 3 E's. If you don't know what 3E is, it was a hilariously, diabolically evil email that was leaked by a Microsoft executive, which said that the 3 E's of Microsoft policy when it comes to free and open source software is embrace, extend, and extinguish, where they take something that is popular, that already works, that can be distributed and self-hosted, and they take it, they add a bunch of shit to it that's useful but doesn't work as a free open source software, and then they make it indispensable so that nobody has any choice but to host with them. So the Git source tracking stuff has been very popular for a very long time, and Microsoft took GitHub, added a bunch of shit to it that's not open source, and now basically everybody just uses GitHub instead of hosting their own Git repository. And this is what this has led up to. GitHub announced, we are sharing additional details regarding our investigation into unauthorized access to GitHub's internal repositories. Yesterday, we detected and contained a compromise of an employee device involving a poisoned VS Code extension. We removed the malicious extension version, isolated the endpoint, and began incident response immediately. Our current assessment is that the activity involved exfiltration of GitHub internal repositories only. The attacker's current claims of 3,800 repositories are directionally consistent with our investigation so far. We moved quickly to reduce the risk. Critical secrets were rotated yesterday and overnight with the highest impact credentials prioritized first. We continue to analyze logs, validate secret rotation, and monitor for any follow-on activity. We will take additional action as the investigation warrants. So to clarify, this guy summed it up beautifully. Microsoft's GitHub was compromised when a Microsoft developer using Microsoft's Visual Code IDE installed a rogue extension from the Microsoft VS Code extension library, which is moderated and hosted by Microsoft. So what basically the entire system was developed by Microsoft. Someone published an extension to VS Code which had malware in it. This malware was approved by Microsoft for distribution in the VS Code extension library. A Microsoft employee installed this malware that was approved by Microsoft, and this extension led to the compromise of all internal source code for GitHub. So I was complaining about GitHub features not being open source. They might be open sourced very soon, whether they like it or not. Though it is very impressive that they apparently have 3,800 internal repositories just for GitHub. That's a bit fucking crazy. This is actually a beautiful segue into a topic that I am a little bit invested in. This news broke, but it was not on the Kiwi Farms for the first bit. Riot Games posted... Now, Riot Games, I talked about last stream as well, and I'll circle this in a second. They posted this picture of what appears to be a bunch of GPUs. And don't get angry, I will explain. But Riot Games says, congrats to owners of a brand new $6,000 paperweight. This was in reply to a cheating company basically saying, today's Vanguard anti-cheat update blocked the majority of DMA firmwares using SATA NVMe. So those are not GPUs. Those are DMAs, which is a card that you put in your computer that will interact with your actual GPU and edit into your GPU the memory. So when you're playing a game like Valorant, if you're wall hacking or something, usually if you use some kind of memory editor to detect player positions and draw them on your screen, then the anti-cheat that Riot Games has can detect that and flag your account. So more sophisticated attackers were using the $6,000 DMA card that fits into your computer like a GPU, but is not a GPU and actually interacts with your GPU. Exactly like, if you're old enough to remember this, Game Shark. This is basically Game Shark for your PC that can edit the memory on your GPU to render wall hacks and other cheats in such a way that it would be very, very difficult for a anti-cheat to detect. However, Riot Games' anti-cheat is not just any anti-cheat. Riot Games' anti-cheat is a Ring 0 kernel level anti-cheat, which means that it operates on your computer at the same security level as the kernel itself and all the drivers that work on your computer. And this means that it can see everything. It can actually inspect your PCIe cards, it can interact with them, it can issue commands to your GPU, and therefore it can detect your Game Shark in your computer. So, Riot Games, when they publish this, they seem to imply that they would use your kernel level device, the anti-cheat they install, to brick your computer. When you call a computer part a $6,000 paperweight, it looks like they're threatening to destroy your components. And then this was even followed up by a tweet by this guy, Philip Koskinas, saying, "It throws a hardware fault. If you cheat with it, you can just stop cheating and the device will resume normal operation. That's how IOMMU works when you don't have access to the memory range." So he's saying that, yes, we deliberately throw hardware faults that can cause problems and force you to reformat your computer. And if you don't remember, Philip Koskinas is the same arrogant prick that posted Trainwreck's IP address the very last week that was covered last stream. So there is a new board that was proposed by Crunklord, and I'm thinking of going for it, where he wants to discuss high-profile C-level and other like tip-top like people in companies that as sort of like a pseudo-stock lolcow board that's not really a lolcow board, but is like gossip about really famous, important people. And if we make that board, Philip is my nomination for first thread because he is not properly a lolcow, but he's like if you gave Pirate Software the top level position at a multi-billion-dollar international gaming corporation, because his smug, condescending bullshit is really fucking annoying. So same guy is what I'm trying to say. Lots of negative reactions to this. Someone also posted, I can't verify this, but someone posted what looks like fake BSOD screens of them like gloating if they find out that you're cheating. That is a result of the kernel level operation of the device detecting your cheat software. Now, I'd like to remind you that Riot Games, at some point in the past, it feels recent to me, but it's probably 5+ years now, was bought by Tencent. It is a 100% wholly owned subsidiary of Chinese conglomerate Tencent, which means that when you are playing Valorant or playing League of Legends, I assume, you have installed into your computer a kernel level Ring 0 security software that can access absolutely every single thing about your computer and apparently brick it. Because even though they're saying, they backtracked and said, this doesn't actually destroy your computer parts, it could. Ring 0 security is direct access to things like voltage and fan speed. So if you want to tell your GPU to run fans at 0% and run wattage at maximum, to melt it, physically melt the fucking device, theoretically, it can do that. Which is why it was always such a big thing with Terry Davis that Temple OS had 0 security and was all Ring 0. Because a computer thing can just say, time to melt everything, and it will do that. And all that service of playing what is like the mixed race child of Rainbow Six Siege and CS:GO. Like, why would you do that? Why would you install Chinese spyware into your computer to play something that sucks? But apparently this is the new game that all the kids are hip and trendy in playing. Because I know that Nick Fuentes plays this shit. But someone came to the defense of Riot Games. Let me read his post, to be fair. Replies to me and he says, Not really. It only forces you to reformat if you want to keep using the DMA card. You can still use your computer as normal without cheating. So you have to reformat your device to use the DMA card. It causes some kind of problem that requires a complete reset of your computer to keep using. There's a bunch of uninformed spurging about Ring Zero anti-cheats that should stop propagating. Although I'd love to see Riot go up in flames. He says, this isn't anything new if you've been following Vanguard development. They've also deployed a bunch of ways to try and catch DMA users. This is just a new detection vector that catches more people. And he says, you need to understand that if Riot wanted to steal your data, they could just do so easily from Ring 3. Same with bricking your computer. That I don't believe. And I also completely reject the argument that we're spied on anyways, so just give them more access to everything. Because it's like, what do we apply that to everything? Oh, Google's spying on us on it already, bro. We might as well take no effort whatsoever to protect our privacy. Like the government already has access to all your devices, bro. So why put a password on anything? Like that's dumb. As we can see very evidently with GitHub, when you put your trust completely in like a company to maintain your privacy and keep secrets, eventually someone's going to fuck up. All it takes is one Pajit to fuck up, and you've just lost all your privacy. You've allowed a backdoor into your computer. But then he also says this. As for any possible backdoors for China or whatever schizo theories people have, remember, when President Trump gets on the plane and his trade delegation gets on Air Force One to go back to the U.S., they all dump everything that they own that's Chinese into a bin. Because it's a schizo theory to think that they would ever backdoor your computers. Why would China buy a multinational gaming corporation and Discord and have unencrypted access to everybody's computers and all of their conversations? It's a schizo theory to think they would ever invest billions of dollars into infrastructure like that for any nefarious purpose. There's no point trying to protect your privacy anyways, because they could do that from Ring 3. This, again, has no reason to happen in the kernel, and something like this wouldn't pass Microsoft driver certification. You wouldn't be able to load the driver on your PC. So the driver is certified by Microsoft, which massive retard with this amazing take says, don't worry about it. Microsoft wouldn't certify it if it was Chinese spyware. But as we've just discovered, apparently Microsoft certification is fucking bad because they will whitelist, explicitly allow list VS Code malware that compromises their own employees running their own IDEs and their own companies. So you mean to tell me that they can't protect their own employees from malicious actors through a explicit allow list like that, but I'm supposed to trust that the Chinese backdoor driver software that inspects every bit of your memory in your VRAM on the fly is just fine because Microsoft got that shit, don't you worry. I don't know. I found that ridiculous that people would just shrug that off. And by the way, I found this article while trying to find the Valerant thread. This is from 2022. But Valorant's privacy terms of service explicitly says that not only do they listen to everything you say on the voice chat to scan it with AI, they will actually use your voice to train their models. So when you talk in Valorant, you're not only being scanned and scrubbed by AI every time you speak, they're actively using that data to train models moving forward. Just really cool stuff. Then Destiny is dead. The video game, not the streamer. As far as I'm aware, Destiny, aka Stephen Bonnell, is live for now, but the game is dead. On June 9th, they've announced will be the last contentful update for Destiny 2, the video game, not the streamer. And Bungie will be moving on to something else. They don't specifically say what, and it leaves people to wonder if it will be a Destiny 1 reboot, a Destiny 3, or if Bungie is actually dead. If I remember, is Sony the one? I asked this exact same question last stream when talking about a different game studio, and I'm asking it again. Is Sony the one that buys studios and then murders them all, or was that Activision Blizzard? Because I'm pretty sure it was Sony. This time I'm pretty sure it is Sony. That EA. God damn it! I'm wrong again. It was neither of my options, motherfucker. They all do? Okay, EA is the one that's famous for it, though. There's some speculation as well. Bungie is going to be closing its studios, which would disappoint a lot of people, I think. Maybe not. There's a second contingent of people that wanted me to show this. Couldn't have happened to a better bunch. Get fucked Bungie and Sweeney. So let's read some former blog posts. This is a blog post that we're reading right here that's about their the end of their era. But let's check out the historical archives. Trans at Bungie. This is from 2021, introducing trans at Bungie. One of Bungie's core values is wanting everyone to feel that their identity is welcome. This goes for both players feeling welcome in our games and employees feeling welcome in our studio. It means evaluating our communication, listening and learning to different viewpoints, and amplifying underrepresented voices. While this is not a problem that can be solved overnight, it is an ongoing effort for Bungie employees throughout the company. Last year, we shared some of the work done by Bungie's first inclusion club, Black at Bungie, and today our International Transgender Day of Visibility. Which is April 1st, by the way. We'd like to share the efforts of another Bungie inclusion club, Trans at Bungie. We got Blacked at Bungie. Blacked at Bungie. At Bungie, we want everyone to feel their identity is welcome. It is one of our core values and manifests in things we make, in ways we communicate and interact with our fans, and crucially, in the way we run our studios. Is at Black at Bungie a handle on Twitter? Does not exist. What is the at for then? Why is there an at sign? This is throwing me for a loop. No, I don't know what the fuck that's for. It's just there. Someone designed this banner is like, so we're gonna borrow the Black Lives Matter thing, throw that there. We're gonna make it brown. We'll add like a little Harry Potter lightning bolt. For the background, we're just going to use difference clouds in Photoshop. And, God, I don't know. How about an at sign? Because it's like a computer or something. B at B? What the fuck is B at B? Oh. Black at Bungie. B at B. Wow. See, this is how you know that I don't have the side of my brain that is used for any artistic endeavors. Because if you had pointed a fucking gun to my head and tell me to figure out what the fuck this means, I would be dead. You would have splattered my brains across the fucking wall because it would have not happened. I could have looked at this for a fucking hour and been like Jeremy Hambly, but what are the at signs for? What are the at signs for? What does it mean? What does it mean? Why is the at sign there? Anyways, you can be black and work a job. Go figure. That's what they're trying to say. Women at Bungie. Now, the at sign on this one is much more easily understood. Bungie is committed to uplifting the voices of its employees who identify as... so not women. Not women. Men. Okay. To build another male dub, ring it up. To build an equitable environment where women can thrive, and to advocate for women in the broader game industry. To help achieve these aims, Bungie recently launched a new inclusion club, Women at Bungie. The members of Women at... Can we... Let's do something. Let's play a game. You want to play a game? I want to play a game. Okay, so I found this website that was very useful. I'm going to put it up on screen. This is a popularity report, and it tracks the active daily online players. Now, this is different than Steam charts. I don't know how exactly it tracks the player counts of Destiny 2, but it apparently does so in a way that is more thorough and inclusive and probably is cross-platform. So at its absolute peak, the game had 3,784,000 people log in one day. This was near its release, okay, when they published Red War. Now, today, they still get like 170,000 people logging in every day, according to this. According to this, 170,000 diehard fans log into this game every single fucking day. And that is not enough mojo for them to keep updating this game. I don't know what they're doing where that's not enough revenue. but it's not apparently. So, let's line up this chart. I'm very curious. Is the black one the first one? Accessibility at Bungie. This all happened in 20, except for this one. Okay, so I mean, I already know the answer because the game's just been on a constant decline. November 16, 2022. Or 2020. Okay. Here, right? Oh no, this was at the very peak of Beyond Light. Right? November 16th. Right after Beyond... Dude, they... when they made the post saying introducing Black at Bungie, it was literally immediately after they published a expansion pack called Beyond Light. We're now beyond the light. We're in the dark, and we're staying dark, and we're blacked at Bungie. And that's very funny. And then Trans at Bungie came on March 31st. So once they were blacked, it was pretty consistent numbers. But then the March 2022 came in. And that's right here. This was also right after they released The Witch Queen. Oh my god. This is blowing my mind. Beyond Light was the blacked update. The Witch Queen was the trans update, okay? And then was the women update the next one? No, the women at Bungie, June 2021. So then right here. So they're still going strong. They're still going strong. The women, but then this is June 2013. They're getting desperate, and they're doing Welcome to Pride at Bungie with the gay neighbor flag as the icon, and that's over here in June, right? June. Okay, and that's it. After that, it peaked at like 1.5 million. And it starts the decline. No longer a holding pattern. Trans at Bungie isn't working. They get a little spike after... It's called Lightfall even. They get a little spike after the final shape, which I guess is when you transition into your final shape. But it's fucking over. That's the weight, and the game can't support it anymore. And it just collapses into the fucking dirt. Latin at Bungie? Really? Do we need Latino Asians at Bungie? Dude, this is the gayest shit. Asian American. I've always loved how Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander gets grouped into this completely unpronounceable acronym, ANHKP. And it's just like, yeah, all you fucking Asians, you don't get your own day. The Latinx, they do. The gays, they do. Women, they do. Trannies, they do. Blacks, they do. You guys, you have to share that with like The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's like a Pacific Islander. He's not properly Asian. He's Samoa. So you gotta hang out with the fucking Samoans, okay? If you're Chinese. You're basically the same fucking thing as far as the US is concerned. Anyways, enough dilly-dallying chat. What's next? I do have this. I already touched on this briefly, but the Amazing Digital Circus had its finale leaked. And what I personally find fun about this is that apparently Gooseworks, the tranny behind the Amazing Digital Circus, personally said that if you don't know, the show is so popular that the feature-length 90-minute long final episode of season 1 that they're doing is actually going to be aired in theaters. So they're playing this in theaters across the world, around the world. And people are hyped. They're wearing their Pomni hats and their bunny sweat hoodies. They're going to the theater in person, and they're going to watch the final episode. But Gooseworks, afraid of this leak, refused to let fans of the show in South Korea see it in person. He made the call. He said, the theaters in South Korea keep leaking shit. I don't want any leaks. We're not playing this in South Korea. But then it was the Brazilian Portuguese version of the episode that was actually leaked. So he was very happy to cater to the troons in Brazil, where the bathtub HRT is manufactured. And he turned his back on the poor South Koreans during Anhapi of all times, very disrespectful in this sacred month of Anhapi to say fuck you South Korea, but he did it anyways. And then the Brazilians stab him in the fucking back. Eat shit. The fuck is this? Ben Shapiro has placed his entire show as a YouTube ad? Really? Dude, imagine that. Imagine sitting in your home. You're watching YouTube. You're watching your favorite podcast in the world, mad at the internet on YouTube, when you really should be watching it on Kick by following Kick. Let me see how many people are watching this one. Oh, I don't even have the YouTube thing up. That's why your chats aren't even showing. You pissed me off so much, I have completely neglected you in all ways. Okay, I now got you guys on screen, so your thing should be you should be polluting my chat pool with your presence. When you should be on Kick anyways. But you're watching your favorite podcast, Man at the Internet, the best podcast ever, and then just suddenly Ben Shapiro pops up, his hat protruding disrespectfully, and he says, imagine if the roles were reversed, and you just you're laying there and you have to get the fuck up and turn off Ben Shapiro because they're just shoving it in your face. What a life. Next. Okay, so Kickstarter is now allowing not safe for work content again. And the fascinating thing about this is that they actually specifically say in their apology, rethinking our mature content guidelines, he specifically says this: the updates to the rules were primarily driven by requirements for our payment processor Stripe. And then, of course, he does apologize. I'm like, please don't ban us. Please don't ban. I know it's not your fault, Master Stripe. I know it's not your fault, Collison Brothers. You're so kind and gracious and forgiving. It says Stripe operates under its own legal and compliance requirements separate from Kickstarter's own rules, and even Stripe's rules are dictated by a larger system shaped by financial institutions that govern how money moves globally. Under this system, many platforms, including other crowdfunding and creator monetization platforms, struggle with how to create space for mature content while getting the creators of that work paid without friction. So basically, something has happened where they're not banning porn anymore, but that's it. They're still banning everything else, and go fuck yourself. But I think they've realized that porn is the breaking point. It's like with the Chibi Gooners. Like all the Chibi Gooners will rise the fuck up and spam video comments about how Lolicon is super based and it's just lines on a piece of paper, bro. Get your head out of the gutters. If you see a child in that child getting fucked picture, then you're the pedophile. It's like that. Like Master was like, fuck, the anime people are back. Fuck this. So like, okay, you guys can have your porn. It's like throwing but we can't take it from you. That's what they're doing. They took it from you. And they're like, but at any time, if you displease us, we can take it from you again. We can take everything you have. We own you. You are our goy cattle. And we could slaughter you and eat you like goy cattle if we really want to. So be thankful for this morsel, retards. And everyone claps. It's like, yay, we're winning the censorship fight. We're allowed to have things again. Master has allowed us to have. Can you believe it? Master gives Dobby a sock. The court agrees to hear case on ability of employees to bring certain suits for sex discrimination and turns down the X thing. X, Twitter was being sued by different states and had triumphed over not being liable for the amount of child pornography it was hosting. States were trying to sue it for liability and lost, and then the Supreme Court has held that they're not going to hear it, turned it down. So, total Elon victory. And this came as a surprise to me, okay? Well, this is the wrong thing to show for what I was going to say. I had heard that one of the main fraudsters in the Somali charity fraud cases in Minnesota had been sentenced to 41 years in prison. And people were shocked. They're like, wow, they're actually sending these Somali fraudsters to jail. And I was going to do a Bane impression. They'd be like, they expect one of us in the wreckage, nigga. And then the actual news story comes out about the person sentenced to jail for 41 years. And her name is Amy Boch. And it's a white woman. So now I figured out why they're willing to sentence people to jail for 41 years over this. And it's because the ones that they're sentencing are not white or are not Somali.
Breaking news, a Minnesota judge has just sentenced the mastermind behind the Feeding Our Future.
The mastermind. Oy vey, they found the mastermind, chat. There she is. She did all of this. She's going to jail for the rest of her natural life. Problem solved. What? You want the $40 billion of fraud back? No, sorry. Sending the mastermind to jail is the only thing we can do. What's that? You want all the people involved deported? Sorry, we got the mastermind. She's right here. She's going to jail forever, chat. Be happy. Be happy with what we gave you. Listen, be happy with what we give you. We can take it away. We can put her back on the streets and give her another $40 billion if we want to, motherfucker. Is that what you want? You want to pay extra tax for this?
Behind the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, Amy Bach. She just got more than 41 years in prison. The prosecution is asking for a 50-year sentence and her defense about 3 years. So that's somewhere in the middle that they got that, but closer to what obviously the prosecution wanted. The scheme involved the theft of nearly $250 million in COVID funding. That money was meant to feed hungry children.
Okay, now listen. Listen here, YouTube. There are things I want to talk about. There are burgers in Argentina I want to review. But unfortunately, there are certain qualities in this Argentinian burger that cannot be discussed in the presence of Neil Maham, who you can't see him, but he is there. He is watching and listening. We need the proper actual news ham for this. And to do the news ham, we have to do that on Kick. So if you're on YouTube, just remember that you're on a platform actively supporting it that hates you, hates your family, hates everyone you know and love, wants you enslaved, wants to outsource all your jobs to India, wants to censor everything that you think and see, wants to deny you your freedom of speech by the freedom to be heard for other people that you'd be interested in. And generally, your complacency is the reason why this country is slipping into an endless black spiraling abyss. But thank you. I appreciate you all for watching, and bye-bye, YouTube. Can I not turn off the streaming platform? Oh, there it is. Bye. Okay. Now the real fans are here, so we can finally talk about the most pressing matter to ever grace the stream. Once upon a time, I read the viral news that everyone was talking about a very special burger joint in the far-flung land of Argentina, in Buenos Aires, called the Big Nigga Burger. Now, there was some speculation on if this Big Nigga Burger was even real. And I told the Argentines, as they prefer to be called. If you call them Argentinians, they spurg out at you and start frothing at the fucking mouth. The Argentine people, if they would like to go to the Big Nigga Burger and report back about their Big Nigga experience, I would read this on stream. And sure enough, two intrepid Kiwi farmers ventured to Buenos Aires. There's a special name for this. It's like BAG. It's like the Buenos Aires Grande, which is like the whole area around Buenos Aires. They went out to the bag, and they had a Big Nigga Burger. So here it is. You got Belgians in the Congo, and he went to Big Nigga Burger. And here's his Big Nigga Burger, which apparently has a lot of fucking bacon on it. There it is. It's called the Big Nigga Burger, I think, because the bun seems to be dyed with squid ink. Either that, or it's like got some sort of sugary glaze to it that is cooked to the point where it darkens up. And he says, it was a fucking excellent burger. We showed up and the guy immediately realized what we were after Lamau. We found out that there are layers to the Big Nigga Burger. You can have a simple nigga, the double nigga, or my choice, the triple nigga. Afterwards, you're asked if you want the seasoning for them programs, aka the fries, which includes paprika, salt, and garlic, which we had and was quite good, but definitely on the milder side. Lastly, if you want the normal buns or the nigga buns, the choice is obvious. The Big Nigga Burger is composed of a layer of smash burger followed by... That's such a meme these days, smash. When I worked at Whataburger, I was explicitly told to never press the burger into the grill because it breaks it apart and dehydrates it. But now it's like a meme that you put your fucking burger on the grill and you just fucking smash it and it looks all broken and shit and leaks all the delicious burger juice. So I don't know why they do. I don't know why that's such a big meme right now. Anyways, it's a smash burger followed by a cheddar layer. Oh, jeez. I can't get 2 words in without getting angry at this description. And then a double thick cut bacon layer, plus some other patented Big Nigga sauce, which is basically a homemade Big Neck sauce. Very good. All that with a dose of minced grilled onions. 10 out of 10 burger, even if it tried escaping my grasp a couple times. Plus, there's a cute kitty that hangs out and meows for bacon. And here we have Bacon Cat with a bacon in it. Big Nigga Cat, who just is like the owner of this fine establishment, is a white, LOL. You better review my review on Strain Pussy at Null, which I have. So that is the proper, definitive Argentine Kiwi Farms Big Nigga Burger review. As he said, he got the triple nigga burger with the Big Nigga sauce on it. Okay. Awesome. It's proper fucking content right there, chat. Next. An Arkansas white-only community is being sued for discrimination by a woman with a black husband whose application to buy land was denied. So here she is, the Michelle Walker, who is suing Return to the Land over discriminatory practices. Under federal law, you cannot refuse to sell someone property based off any protected category, which includes the race and national origin of their spouses or family members. So when they applied specifically to cause problems, as they continuously fucking do all the fucking time, because that's just what they enjoy doing, they were denied, of course, because she's Jewish and her husband's black, and they were denied the ability to buy shares into a community. And here is the legal crux. When they set up Return to the Land, they specifically organized their structure as a specifically exempt category of organization that is not covered by the Equal Rights Act. So there are some communities that are allowed to discriminate. However, it has never been tried to attach it to a housing community. So when they set this organization up, they set it up so that if you buy shares to the club, you can then do what you want with some of the land. Now they're going to argue that this is merely a masquerade for housing discrimination, which is federally illegal, even if, by the way, they don't intend to live there. And she's openly stated that she has no intention of living there. She's trying to go for an investment property. So this Jewish woman with the black husband wants to buy land in a whites-only community so she can rent. Go figure. But that's still covered by the Equality Act. So they're going to court. We'll see what happens there. Oh, that's the owner, by the way, Eric Orwell. I mentioned him recently when I was talking about Chud the Builder, because this was the guy where he and his girlfriend, when they were like in their 20s, did like porn or something. They had like a Chatterbait account or some shit. And people found that out and were like, "Oy vey, Goyim, your Return to the Land guy has done pornography. Doesn't that make you hate him?" And it's kind of like, I don't know. Do we hold someone eternally accountable for something like that? Do we always say, like, "You're not perfect"? Remains to be seen, chap. But he's probably going to get fucked, regardless of if they are in the right legally. The courts will never consent to this. In fact, I remember when this RTTL thing happened, the Attorney General for the state of Arkansas was like, "Oh no, they're going to think that we're racist in Arkansas still, even though we have the stars and bars quartered on our flag." we gotta do a proper fucking apologism for this. We gotta sue. We gotta figure some kind of crime to charge them with. I said this last stream. I don't care if he's innocent or not. I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, Chud the Builder did nothing wrong. I base this entirely off the fact that he's white and the person he shot is not. That's how it works with everybody else. When something happens, when a Pajit smashes a semi-truck into an entire car of people driving down the fucking road, minding their own business, all the Pajits go online and say, he has made an innocent mistake and his entire life should not be ruined by this one small error and lapse in judgment. He will grow as a person. That's me now. Yeah, this guy, he's good. You know why? Because he's white. And white is right. White is good. Keep them niggas back in the hood. That's me. I've adopted a racist, barbaric, exclusionary point of view because everyone keeps fucking with me and won't leave me alone. Everyone's equal in our Savior's eyes, except for faggots and except for niggas. That's a parody song, by the way, by an Asian man, and I'm simply honoring his song during this Asian American Pacific Islander History Month. Okay. All right. Speaking of Asian American heritage, we have Plantation Simulator. Now, oh, is there a video for this? Awesome.
Let me start.
Oh, I reluctantly play this.
In this game, you'll be whipping black people to keep your farm productive. If you whip your black person too much,
Thank God it's Derek. He's black, so therefore he can read this without being apparent.
they will die. That is the mature content description for a new game on Steam called Plantation Simulator. And I don't know, man. I find it so interesting that one, we are on these people's minds all the time. Two, I already hear what's going to happen. It's just a joke. It's supposed to be funny. And I just want to shout out to Busy, who is the developer of this game and has other amazing games such as Zombies Ate My Femboy, My Pet Femboy, Femboy Fury, Left for Bed, Crucifier, which is a game about Romans whipping other Romans, including Jesus, to make them race while they're carrying a cross. And it's just interesting what some people choose to build. Like, you have the ability to create worlds, and even in this retro style, like it's old, like you have the ability to design and create things, and you choose to make this. You choose to make this. And I don't know.
Derek got his wish. I don't have a slide for this, but I saw it happen with my own eyes. The Femboy Fury guy that made this game, he patched an update. He's announced that this is the last contentful update for Plantation Simulator. All the slaves have been changed to friends. They've been made white. They wear bikinis. And instead of whipping them, you now kiss them. So he's taken the feedback to heart, has given the people what they want. And now the slavery simulator is now a kissing simulator, okay? They still work on a plantation, though. It's not false advertising. All right. That's it for the news. Newsham, you are dismissed. Next. This is okay. So everyone's familiar with this meme.
Leopard. On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
But you may not know, unless you were around for Drop Kiwi Farms in 2021, 2022, that person has trooned out. And what may additionally surprise you, if that's a surprise to you, is that the guy who goes by Naomi Wolf now was actually intimately involved with Drop Kiwi Farms. He sucked up to both the Kiwi Farms and then to Liz Fong Jones, and actively tried to help participate in Drop Kiwi Farms as a gas sucker for Liz Fong Jones. This is completely fucking true. I'm not making this up. Here he is.
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf. In certain
Oh my God.
On all
Look at that chest acne. Look with your eyes. Gaze upon the cavity. Do you see the zits? What's with the Eevee thing? Is that like a tranny thing? Do trannies love Eevee? Anyways, look at the fucking chest acne, bro. Come the fuck on.
levels except physical, I am a wolf. Insert majestic chihuahua bark here. If you ever wondered where that video...
Pussy! What a fucking pussy! You're famous for one thing. You're famous for one thing. That's going on all levels except physical. I am a wolf. Woof! That's it. And he's like, I can't do it. If I wolf again, then people will make fun of me. Well, now I can't make fun of your wolf. I'm going to have to focus more on your fucking hideous, hideous chest acne, Naomi.
Where that video came from. Today I'm going to explain the origins of the infamous meme. So let's rewind back to around 2011. Fetus Naya was not even out as trans yet. I was a junior in high school, and I was really
Hello, audience. It is me, Troonbot. I am in a dress. My chest and cleavage is puckered with acne from razor burn. I am here to give you the historical rundown of my life. I will make unblinking eye contact with you with high stress risen shoulders and unblinkingly regale you in monotone with everything I have to say. Just like the most autistic gays ever.
involved in the Therian or Otherkin community. That's a community of people who feel either spiritually or psychologically connected to animals. Some of them identify as that said animal, etc. Obviously, based on the meme, I identified as a wolf. I founded a website called Wolf Howl, but I spelt it WULFHOWL because I thought I was being clever with the little spelling difference.
That's a very autistic detail that could be completely left out if you weren't like a fucking massive spur.
Wolf Howl spelled properly.com was actually taken. It was an online forum for people who kind of had these beliefs or these were associated with this subculture. And
Oh, I just realized I am not playing mixtape. Is this fixed? No, it still says mixtape. Okay, hold up. Sorry, I have to adjust this on stream. Just chatting. We are mad at the internet. We're not playing mixtape. I'm still keeping this tag cheese, though. Okay, continue, Naomi Wolf.
it was kind of gaining traction. There were otherkin being talked about on Tumblr, on different social media sites. So obviously, as a concept gained some popularity, some media executives got interested in it. I was contacted by a company called Zigzag Productions. Originally, I told them I did not want to participate, do not use my website, goodbye. And the reason for that being, every time otherkin have been in the media, it's kind of been a disaster.
Okay, I'm done making you suffer through this. That's Naomi Wolf. After epically owning the Kiwi Farms, he has gone on to... I don't know what the fuck he's even trying to do. I have no idea what he's trying to do. Next. One of the Fats has retired, been put to pasture, not dead, just retired. Glitters and Lasers, aka Anna O'Brien, has deleted all of their social media posts throughout their entire portfolio. And this led to many people speculating as to what was happening. Some people thought maybe she was hacked, having a meltdown or something. But she clarified on Insta, thank you. I've decided to step away from this account. It wasn't an easy decision, but I know it's the right one. A lot has changed. I'm just not the same person I was when I started this journey. I've never really enjoyed being well known, and that part of this career has always been hard for me. For a while, that discomfort was totally worth it, but I'm getting older now. I realize I just don't want a quieter, more private life, and I can't have it that way, as long as I'm a creator. Now, what's funny about Anna O'Brien is this. This is... Find this video. This is them talking about the mass deletion, mass privating that was going on. Well, that's happening. Let's go to page 1. Don't want to spoil it. There was a video that I had seen of her lifting weights that was like a really... Oh, okay, this is perfect. You can see how big she is. This is her as of now, right now. And this was her, I think, when she started. So you can see that between 2020, or I guess this is 2015, because this was about her first blog post, and now she has gained quite a bit of weight. her career as an influencer was in body positivity. She rejected being called health at any size, which is Haze, Haes. Haze is a very specific category of fat influencer that purports that there is no such thing as obesity-related comorbidities, such as cardiovascular issues or pulmonary issues, completely made up, discriminatory science that doctors push to sell dieting programs, basically. So she's always rejected being a Haze, but her messaging for body positivity has always been Haze aligned. She just rejects that. So this is a very popular thread. I'm basically legally obligated to mention this because it is a fat woman. And she's retiring. Very, very strange thing. It's like when Facebook a long time ago introduced memorial pages where if someone died, you could petition Facebook to memorialize their Facebook page. So you could like honor them on their wall or whatever and leave nice comments. I remember how morbid it was when they started doing this. The thought that like these brand new internet things like Facebook are now outliving people. And it's so strange that there's even people on the forum who have died and that have deceased tags. I don't know, it's a very weird, morbid thing about how the internet is now so old. It's outlived so many people and they're being like memorialized. And it's just weird because you always think of things going forward and then like people retire or drop fucking dead. It's like, huh, that's a thing that happens. People drop fucking dead. I don't know. You don't really think of internet people dropping fucking dead or retiring. I think retiring is even more rare than dropping dead. People drop dead before they retire from their internet shticks. Okay. Now this is, did I talk about this? About her conversion? This is Mei Waiku. I remember talking about her when she got found out. She tried to fuck with that Syrian guy from Fish Tank, and who's a Muslim, and now she has converted to Islam and looks literally identical to Chantal in her pictures. And she literally converted to Islam to appease Bashir, the Syrian guy from Fish Tank, and is trying to court him still. She decided to talk to. She decided to spill her fucking guts to Dojima's dragon. If you don't know who Dojima is, he's an Iranian who lives in the UAE. He is literally, and I don't mean this with any exaggeration, literally one of the biggest fucking retards on the Kiwi Farms. He has been banned and unbanned. I think he has been permanently banned on one account more than any other person ever. Because I keep banning him, and then someone will pay me money to unban him. And then I unbanned him voluntarily because he is actually Iranian. And when the Iran war started, he emailed me and said, can I have my account back so I can talk about the Iran war? And for me, that was a value-added perspective because it's like, okay, I want people to talk about things with some level of knowledge. So I unbanned him again. And then he just so happens, despite being a Muslim living in the Middle East who is Iranian, he hates Western converts. And so when he found out that this woman converted to Islam to court a Syrian guy, he hit her up and was like, hi, I'm Iranian and a Muslim. I'd love to talk to you. And then got her to spill her guts to him. And then immediately posted this on the Kiwi Farms because he always hated her because he hates converts. So just a really bizarre thing, entire ecosystem down here, but let's read it. So this is May, not to be confused with Amanda Morris, who also goes by May. She says, in response to him saying, did you convert to Islam? She says, I was a Muslim for a while before this. I wasn't joking when I said I'm halal to talk to. I'm Hanafi. Dojima then says in proper Islamic fashion, I was drunk. I don't know how he's getting drunk in the UAE, but I guess life finds a way. She says, oh, lol, I understand your hatred because I find Wahhabis retarded. He says, "Oh yeah, makes sense. When did you convert?" I was told anyone who says no music, etc., or goes down or takes down the glory of God to an arbitrary list is gay. He then responds by going LOL. Completely on point. I have repeatedly banned him from chat because at some point his mind just breaks and he starts spamming chat with letters. I don't know why. He does this all the fucking time. So I know that's what him, because he does this, and there's no explanation for it. There's just something wrong with him. So then she goes, "What?" And he says, "Sorry." Also on point. Despite this confusion, she continues to talk to him. Oh, wait, this is before. So he scrolled back up. Okay, I got you. Somehow that started the conversation. When did you convert? 20s, I think. I don't recall exactly, but I remember. You know, I need her picture up while I read this. Yeah. Give me a second, chat. I'm going to put her fucking face up so you can see this shit. Ooh, that's high quality. That's way too fucking high quality. Okay. Oh, I just realized that my date's not up on my stream. There we go. Fixed. He says, "Those suck hard autistic retards," referring to strict Islamists. He says, "But wasn't that a joke?" He says, "I thought the Prophet Paba was the coolest dude ever, and I still loved his story. It was bit. God has a sense of humor. Yeah, pretty funny, honestly." No, don't scroll. Fuck you. I would like to see a pic, to be honest. She says, "Yeah, I cover my hair. You would look really cute in it. Haha." The haha part's added. But there you go, that picture. And before this ends up in my thread, very good. Nice prediction. Still did anyways. Good job. So this part, let's talk about this part real quick. She says this: "I thought the Prophet Paba was the coolest dude ever, and I loved his story." So let's talk about the story of the Prophet Muhammad Paba. My man's went to the deserts of Iran, and he warned his followers to sit on their bottoms so they could not be anally penetrated. And then he got rode around in the desert all night by the Al-Zut. And then after getting anally raped and getting Al-Zuted, he then married a child. And then he brought this child to a camp. And he told his followers, if I get stabbed in the neck by a Jew, or if my carotid artery burst by a Jew especially, then I'm not the real prophet. And then, he does say, if a Jew slits my carotid artery, I'm not the real prophet. Then he brings his child bride to a camp. And the child bride is afraid of dogs. The child bride has a dog. She has a little puppy because he has to woo this child that he's fucking with dolls. Literally, when he married her, she was with her dolls when he first saw her. And that's when he got attracted to her and said, I have to have that. I have to have sex with that right now. And then he married her. But the first time he saw her, she was with her dolls. Then he gave her a puppy. And then Muhammad meets an angel. And the angel is the most beautiful man that anybody has ever seen, according to the Quran. And then the angel is afraid of dogs. So every time the angel comes to visit, Muhammad has to send the child bride and her puppy out of the tent so that the angel can visit because he's afraid of dogs. And then they correspond in private, and nobody's allowed to see this. It is widely believed that this was a gay man that Muhammad was having anal sex with, who just so happened to be afraid of dogs, because I guess dogs are homophobic in the Middle East. And then after he has a bunch of sex with the angel, who's the prettiest boy that anybody's ever seen, he is then poisoned by a Jew after a battle. And he exclaims while being held in the arms of his child bride, who was his favorite wife. And it says that explicitly, that his child bride was his favorite wife. He says, "Oh my God, it feels like my carotid artery is exploding." And then he dies. And then he dies in the hand of his arms of his child bride. That's his favorite bride, the child that he fucked, that he found with dolls. And then everyone's like, "Oh my God, the prophet has fallen." And then now there's 1 billion of them. And they think that he was the last messenger of God. So she read this story of this warlord monster who conquered, sexually enslaved, tortured people, married a child, got fucked in the ass by the Al-Zuts, fucked an angel in the ass in a tent, and then died in exactly the prescribed way that he said he would die if he was a false prophet, in the arms of his child bride, that was his favorite bride, his third bride too, because he was polygamous. And then she's like, "I loved it. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Peace be upon him. I'm gonna cover my hair with this fucking carpet now. And that's a true fucking story. That actually happened. I'm supposed to believe that. Okay. So before this ends up in my thread, he says, "Nah, it won't. You're too nice." But this is Dojima, so it is what it is. I'm joking. Thanks, man. I do look cute. LOL. It's all right. I sometimes will show some hair because, like, okay, the thing on hair being shown wasn't super autistically followed across the Islamic world until the 20th or 21st century. And then he shows a picture of a woman whose hair is not completely covered to prove this. I love this artwork, Turks, though. I mean, if you're following the Turks for guidance on Islam, that's like being a Presbyterian. The Turks were famously liberal. That's how they kept their empire together. They didn't enforce any strict religious rules and let people do whatever the fuck they want. There's paintings of men fucking each other in the ass and like a massive orgy from Istanbul. They did whatever. They literally imported boys from Bosnia and Serbia to rape them just to show the South Slavs that they were rapists that loved boys. And they could fuck their boys and they couldn't do anything about it. Like, that's your that's your model there. Turkish art, and so I at least cover that much. Are you really happy with it? She says, yes, I'm very much in love with God and his mercy. She says, like, honestly, you know Alex about Islam and its treatment of women. She says, I've never been able to have a relationship with God before. God and the Prophet Pabah said to be gentle to women, not be harsh with your wife. Women don't have to do salah or fasting during their period specifically for Allah's mercy. We do not have to run during the Hajj because of the women who ran for water for her son. We do not have to perform it if we menstruate while on the Hajj. Female infants stop being killed because of Islam. Well, except for the ones in the Middle East or in Africa that are getting their vaginas shut as soon as they're born so that nobody can rape them until they're able to be sold. Sort of like as a freshness guarantee. No, really, she's a virgin. You can tell because I sewn her vagina shut when she was a baby and it's still sewn shut. So you know for sure. It's called female genital mutilation. You should look it up. It's really amazing. It's a wonderful thing that we have on earth and we tolerate, and we don't kill every single person who practices this fucking faith. Female infants stop being killed because of Islam. It's not feminist by any means, but no religion is. The patience of men who are retarded does not negate the love of God. I understand, I do. Oh, Dojima is not a Muslim? He says I left Islam. I didn't know that. I'll never hate you for doing so. I hope you find ways to love God and can find peace. And then Dojima says, you do realize that it was confined to a certain tribe. It's famously a BS Muzzies to push. How do you explain women like Kajida stopping to exist after Muhammad's time? She says, I get Muslims can be immensely unkind or too autistic over rules because it is the strictest Abrahamic religion on rules because we don't allow Jewish tricks. She did. The first university was founded by a Muslim woman. Wahhabis are retarded. Now they're arguing specifics about their religion. Also, the terrorist groups funded or made by Israel, I don't count. What a cope. Yeah, ISIS, that's just Israel, boy. Don't worry about that. God is all-knowing. He knows if you tried or if you're trying to trick him. Okay. I love him. I love the way I love mankind. He brought me closer to that love. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want more of him, but it is not my will that decides it. God will do it. If it's meant for me, it will be. Is this about Bashir? Yeah, it is about Bashir. I'm not trying to Xena him, though. I'm genuinely trying to change. Lust is a sin of mine. My intentions are pure with Bashir. I want to do nice things for Jim. I am wife material. He knows I like him. It's obvious. He's a bit afraid with women, to be honest. But again, only God can open his heart. He's not ready yet. He's closed off to women right now. He needs some one-on-one time with Muhammad. Muhammad needs to regale him with the stories of the men of Balzut and the beautiful angel, so he can open his heart and learn to love. I will always love him and have love for him. What's gay? You're gay. And her avatar is like a Japanese thing of a trans dog getting its head decapitated. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Very nice little homegrown mental illness here from the Kiwi Farms. I get to read for you. Okay, let's get rid of the fat bitch. Next. It has been long speculated. It is basically confirmed, but not really. Radfem Hitler has said this in multiple places, that she's in a long-term relationship with the Richard Spencer. And I mentioned a stream ago that Radfem Hitler is very pregnant. Apparently the baby has been born. It is a Taurus. She says that its father is also a Taurus. Richard Spencer is a Taurus. So it's all but confirmed that Richard Spencer has had a child with Radfem Hitler. This is allegedly the fourth child of Richard Spencer, and he has had 3 other children with his ex-wife, and she is now the mother of his fourth. So Richard Spencer out there saving the white race. I don't know what the fuck she gets out of it. One of her tweets was something like in a reply to a message like, why the fuck are you dating Richard Spencer? And she said something like, he's handsome. So heroic frontier feminist Radfem Hitler has an adulterous, lecherous, gross, skeevy federal agent's child, his fourth child, with a second woman, because she finds him handsome. Very good job, Radfem Hitler. You make us all proud. Next. H Bomber Guy. Oh god, this is so hard to explain. H Bomber Guy and Patricia Traxon have had a confrontation. H Bomber Guy skeeted this out to the world. He says, it can be quite funny. Someone can notice their former friends distancing themselves, wonder aloud why that might be, and then go back to tweeting, I can't think of a single good argument against Lolicon. We're touching the third rail again, this stream chat. If you don't know who Patricia Traxon is, allow me to refresh your memory, because you might remember this. Here we go.
Lieutenant Data, Catgirls, it's all connected. Alpha and Omega was released in 2010 by Crest Animation Studios to widespread critical derision and financial ruin. I shouldn't have been allowed to see this when I was 11. First off, these character designs. They have that E621 banner ad chic, that deviant art essence. They look like what you get when you ask a furry to draw a normal wolf. Animated animals aren't supposed to look like this. They're supposed.
This is a 45-minute long review about furries and having sex with furry animals. I've watched this entire video multiple times, and I actually, if you want to go review this, the editor has a clip of Patricia Traxon's, my reaction to it. I reviewed this very highly. I thought it was a good video essay. I thought it was funny. And I actually thought that this person was slightly endearing because they're very autistic and very like on the nose about it. And I looked up their music. Their music is actually atrocious. I want to find it for you real quick. Let's go. This one's just called Furry. Let's play this. See what this. I've never listened to this before. All their music is terrible. Just so you know. Let's see. Is this gonna play? Now that I want to play it, it's not gonna play. I have a feeling. I can get their SoundCloud. Patricia Traxon SoundCloud, or it's a Bandcamp, I think. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, let's go to the Bandcamp. I'll pick a different one. In Your Orbit, Ignition, Bicycle, Tech Dog 1 through 7, Agnes and Hilda. Ah, this is the one I remember. Yeah, this one. This is okay. Get ready, chat. This is a fucking banger. You're not mentally prepared for this song. Give it a second. You gotta wait for the beat to drop.
Agnes and Hilda ain't just two pretty faces. They're two whole ladies on a promenade down the avenue, here to strut their stuff and enjoy the view. You might say they look a little different, but they got a lot in common. They could talk a lot about it, be it artistry, green tea, and red wine. Like any other women, they're here for a good time. Some days I'm Agnes, but just as often I would rather be Hilda. If you're like me, you might agree, so listen close. ¿Por qué no las dos?
Okay, so you have to understand, Chad. I'm a true connoisseur of weird stuff. I'm not a fucking faker. Okay, I know that in this world, it's cruel, and I have been left behind. I'm no longer the cool kid, but I am an OG appreciator of weirdness. And I understand that this poor autistic really just does not perceive any media in any way that is familiar to us, which is why I find them slightly endearing. However, the downside of this is that all autistic people are sexual freaks. And Patricia Traxon has not only touched the third wire, has salivated over it, licked it, tongue-kissed it. And this causes issues because moral fags like me happen to align with moral fags like H Bomber Guy. And we gatekeep such people out of mainline existence, okay? H Bomber Guy vague tweeted like a bitch that this poor autist should probably shut the fuck up about Lolicon and never talk about it again. Being a spurg, he basically said that, you know, if you're just jerking off to little kid pictures, whatever, it's all good. So he's had to walk this back, and I feel kind of bad for him. It's hard for me. I suffer from this thing, and I had the same issue with Chris, where when it comes to the profoundly autistic, I never can tell where actual autism ends and learned or feigned helplessness begins. And this is a real problem with the mentally handicapped. You would assume that someone like Chris Chan is just permanently retarded. And everything that Chris does is the byproduct of a retarded person acting retarded. But you would be wrong. Actually, I learned firsthand that Chris is actually retarded, but he's also malicious, and he knows that he can do bad things and then act retarded and get away with it 99% of the time. And he did this with me, and it was his lies about his mother that finally broke the spell. And it was like, oh, you know what you're fucking doing. You do retarded shit all the fucking time. Nobody has any expectations for you. And when you get caught doing something bad, you act like you didn't have any fucking idea and you're just a poor innocent retard. And a lot of retards do this. And so when this kind of stuff happens, for instance, like this, Patricia Traction says in response to H Bomber Guy, I hope you're fucking happy, Harry, because YouTube Drama is covering the correspondence, the crossover. He doesn't want to be featured on YouTube Drama. And then he says, fire off a vague post calling me a pedo and wait in confidence that even if you delete the right people, the right people will find it. The perfect crime, isn't it? H. Bomber Guy pulled it off. 007 H. Bomber Guy. The right people. Orders received. H. Bomber Guy. The right people have your mission. Fear not. We're carrying it out to the conclusion. We're cyberbullying this fucking shroon into an early grave. We're making a bone chair out of him. He goes on to say, and this is what I meant about the blurry line between where being an innocent spurg and being a malicious spurg gets fuzzy. He says he's already tricked people into thinking it's about the lowly post, and he didn't just find out that on my profile and use it to post justify how he treated me 8 years ago. It was 10 days old. He didn't even do anything cancel-worthy. Why is he acting like I have dirt on him? I'm not even allowed to be salty that I was mistreated almost a decade ago without being defamed in retaliation. And then, what's the bleed? Where is it? It's the allistic smugness. Oh, isn't it funny that she didn't realize... Okay, this is it. This is the real post. That's like, It's the allistic smugness. Oh, isn't it funny that she didn't realize how repulsive she was to me? Isn't it funny how she questions moral truisms that come naturally to the rest of us? Maybe I have something to say about shit no one wants to think about because I had to think about it. So basically what happened is this, right? From my understanding. Let me find it. Oh, I can't find this fucking image. You can't hide shit from me. Basically, poor Patricia Taxon did the thing. Did the thing, sat down with the big-brained autistic take, drew out the ethical behavior, child porn, ethical CP diagram, and pinned down the Goldilocks zone. And it's like, okay. That's what we're talking about when it comes to ethical truisms. It's not a matter of ethical truism. It's a matter of not liking certain people. I'm so sorry for not intuiting the reason that you ghosted me the first, second, or third time I'm autistic. So, I don't know. Is H-Bomber guy's a faggot, right? He like sucks cock, right? Am I right? He's gay, right? He doesn't have any moral ground then. He's just a big, gross, gay-ass fucking British guy. British, I put them, like, look. Patricia Taxon and gross, gay British people like that pig laser man, they go in the same box. They go in the same box, and if they want to roll around in the mud and yell at each other and try to figure out who's going to be bottom bitch in the box, I don't give a shit. But I found this crossover. It's such a strange crossover. Bullying a poor autistic trans woman of color. They identify as two-spirit, so they're like indigenous, I think. Anyways, next. I have a YouTube video that I want to share with everybody. Because, I mean, I would be remiss not to, right? Investigation Discovery has put out this trailer for a documentary.
I want to feel loved. I want to feel desired. And that's not something that happens often to a fat girl.
I was scrolling on TikTok. This guy holds up a pair of bathing suit bottoms, and he says, if you can fit in these, I want you in my pool.
Welcome to paradise.
Stefan's a TikTok creator living in this mansion in Vegas with all these plus-size women.
Everybody deserves to be treated with respect.
But he's selling a fantasy. You'll be loved here, worshipped like a goddess, but they don't tell you the price that you pay.
You have this older man with women half his age. And that power dynamic is predatory.
He says, this is just a body positive space and I just love fat women and it's totally innocent when it's totally not.
There was no consent.
Paradise is not a safe and positive place. This man is a predator. No one deserves to be a victim to him.
He gets off sexually watching people eat and gain weight. It can kill you.
911 emergency. Do you need police, fire, or medical?
Medical. Had it not been for Paradise, she could be alive today.
I need to finally tell my story.
Are you a dangerous man?
Big Girls Wanted, Escaping Paradise, an ID documentary event. Premieres June 10th on ID.
June 10th. After me and PPP finish up Amazing Digital Circus, maybe we can watch this. In case you're wondering, it has a very, very comical German accent where he's like, yeah, I just love some big fat girls, yeah. But, chat, don't be fooled. German, he is not. I have a short for this. Let's watch this.
Know you wanna party with a fat bitch, even though
Oh, this is from his like official YouTube Shorts thing.
Party with a fat bitch. Even though in comments you're like cap bitch. Time you spend with me, you'll be time well spent. And if I get on top, you know I'm leaving a dent. Know you wanna party with a fat bitch. Buy me diamonds, premium name brand chips. Time you spend with me will be time well spent. And if I get on top, you know I'm leaving a dent. I'm a big bad, big butt, big dreams baddie.
This is basically like what Keemstar is working up to, I think. I think at the end, once he drops the whole lolcow, like wearing the corpse of the lolcow identity to prop up all his fucking faking gay podcasts, he's just going to be like, yeah, let's just have like a content house and all the big girls can come to New York and live with Keemstar. And he's just going to fuck them. And by the way, it's called Paradise, but Pear is spelled like the food, pear, like a pear-shaped body.
Get in my mouth right now! Where the fuck's my goddamn server? Oh, there you are now. Give me a fucking cheeseburger.
Dude. The TikTok trend of like lip syncing audio that you didn't create is like the worst fucking thing that has ever happened to anybody ever. Oh, this is their official website. The story of Paradise 1 and how it all happened or began. It was the name we used on TikTok, but the story started earlier. During the first COVID lockdown, the world was shut down. People were bored at home, and so was I. Around May of 2020, I found the TikTok app and got drawn in by confident plus-size girls dancing to trending music. I wanted to see what it was all about. On May 12th, 2020, I posted my first TikTok under the name Super Size Big Beautiful Woman Fan 73. Still experimenting with effects and the simple editing tools the app offered. After posting a few videos and gaining more than 1,000 followers in 3 days, I was hooked. I downloaded Adobe Premiere, started following tutorials, and got deep into editing videos like the broom trick and wipe it down challenge. This is his very first TikTok. Sir, your media player is not working. You might be spared this, chat. I don't think Paradise is up to the task, unfortunately for you guys. Oh, I remember this. This was fucking stupid, this shit. How does this one play?
Wipe it down. Wipe it down.
I remember this quote about, it was like from the 1950s when TVs were new, and the quote was something like, having a TV in your house is like having a Jew in your living room. I'm reminded of this for some reason. Also, his shirt says BBW bra, like review bra, but for fat chicks. His first account was permanently banned for breaking his guidelines? Repeated suspensions? Why? What was he doing? How did this break the rules? You don't explain this. What rules did you break? So then he made Paradise 1. It took off like wildfire. A place where body positivity is real and everyone is beautiful just the way they are. Swimsuit check Paradise Edition. The most viral TikTok I produced, over 16 million views.
Bat swimsuit check.
What the fuck is this? What are they doing? They're just walking in swimsuits? Was this like a viral trend because it was just like young girls in like slutty outfits and people just followed that, and then this one got like swept up in the algorithm as well? Is that a trend? Is that really a trend on TikTok? Like, what do you look like in a bikini? What a trend. What viral content. I'm pretty sure that TikTok is just popular because it's like for teen girls who want attention, and then also like the dads of teen girls to perv on teen girls. I feel like that's the entire app. That's like the entire momentum behind it. There's like a huge valley here. People actually use that shit. It became a community. They were creating and having fun. And then the permanent ban of Paradise. What? Why was it banned? Was it banned for like sexual content? What the fuck? Why was Paradise 1 banned from TikTok? Explain this to me, computer. It bothers me so much you won't explain what the fuck happened. Taking too much bandwidth? Some Chinese guy like looked at this like, what the fuck? These are all fat bitches. Fuck this. Then they just banned them. Okay, the computer is looking that up for me, so I don't have to figure it out myself. I think I have more notes for this. Okay, he does have his YouTube account back. Neil Mahan likes him thick, so he's not banned there yet. He only has 1.5 thousand subscribers, so he did not transition from TikTok well. He's now suffering. He's languishing. Why does he have colored hair now?
It's the motherfucking DR.
If my penis was a car, what kind would it be and why? A Porsche because it's fast, reliable, and made in Germany. I don't think Porsche is exactly as the... What's the most Jewish car? Most Jewish car. Like a car that has like a really big hook. The Toyota Sienna? In American Jewish culture, particularly within Orthodox and suburban communities, the Toyota Sienna is widely known as the unofficial kosher car? What the fuck?
You know I'm mobbing with the D-O-double-G.
That's it? Is that really what passes? Oh my god, bro. I'm like PPP watching The Amazing Digital Circus whenever I get exposed to TikTok culture. I'm just like, really? Really? Honestly, people watch this shit. People actually watch this with their fucking eyes and ears. And they internalize it and they reproduce it. Okay. And apparently one of the people in Paradise is a person who has a thread. Oh my god. This post is all the way back from 2015. Rosie Skaggs. That's an ancient thread. That's crazy. Is it known? Have they posted in this thread yet that she's on? Yeah, dude. That's an ancient thread. That's crazy. Huh. Maybe she can be the new Amberlynn now that Amberlynn sucks and is faking gay on Keemstar's fucking faggot-ass podcast. Can only hope. All right. I would like to introduce you guys to somebody. I might have shown this on stream before, but now it's official. If you go to Twitter and look at anything related to the Kiwi Farms, you will find 100% this account replying to every single thing all the time. He has tens of thousands of posts on Twitter, and all of them are about me and the Kiwi Farms. And he's supposedly an insider who has the inside scoop on the Kiwi Farms. This is the same exact guy, I thought, that was helping Liz Fong Jones and was mentioned as Sean in like articles about how Liz Fong Jones had an inside man working on the Kiwi Farms. This is Sean Walker. Also goes by Psychic Espeon. Where's this guy's fucking picture at? I want to show him. This guy talks like a fucking anime super. This guy talks like an anime supervillain, as if he's Light. No, I'm Light. Light's the bad guy, right? I'm Light Yagami, the Shinigami killer, right? And he's L, and he's hunting me down, and I'm Light, and he's gonna take the Kiwi Farms death note from me. Okay, so just keep in mind when you watch this and you read this, this is the fucking face. Actually, you know what? Let's put this up here. And you know why he's mad? Do you want to guess? It's a really profound thing. Nobody has ever been mad at the Kiwi Farms for this reason. You want to guess? You want to guess what it is? It's because he has a thread. And he has literally tried to extort me by proxy by saying that if I delete his thread or just lock it, he will stop obsessing over the Kiwi Farms, which to me sounds like a very compromising thing. I was told that he's the L to my Light Unigani, and he's hunting me down like the bad man that I am. But yet all he seems to want is a special favor, which I'm obviously not going to oblige. So here's the rundown, basically. Tread Miller said that he hated me, and he was going to flip sides, and he wants to join him. So he started talking to him, and because he's a very gullible, autistic retard, he spills his fucking guts to him over the course of a couple days. This guy's origin story is he is a Christian fail troll. During that era of Chris, right before the incest saga, he was Psychic Espeon on the Christian Discord server. I remember him because he was annoying as fuck. And I never interacted with him. I never had any negative interactions with him. I was there only because Christian wanted a friends Discord, and I helped him set it up. He wanted a place where he could talk to My Little Pony influencers and his biggest suck asses. And one of his biggest suck asses was this guy. This guy sucked Chris's asshole fucking spotless to the point where Chris considered him a friend that he wanted in his inner circle alongside My Little Pony YouTubers. Like that derpy woman that he obsessed over. And I tolerated these people, but that whole Discord was just like completely unmaintainable because they had to be nice to Chris and people just started leaking shit like immediately. But for some reason, and I literally don't know why, for some reason, he has always hated me since this saga. I have never done anything to him. I have never maligned him. I've never done anything. And I always thought like this guy, whoever the fuck he is, because I didn't know, I had to have done something that like mean to him. Because you know me, when someone pisses me off, I just call him a faggot. And some people take that really to heart and they think I hate them and I obsess over them and I'm like their sworn enemy because they've got autism and they've got a big ego. I have never wronged this guy in any way, shape, or form. He, to use a phrase I really hate, he touched the poop. He went to the biggest, stinkiest pile of poop in the entire world, which is Christian Weston Chandler, and he swam around in it, and he played with it, and he made little poop snowmen, and then surprisingly, complete shocker to anybody, he got poo-poo on him, and people made fun of him, and he's angry about that. And it's like, you know what the fuck? You knew he was a snake before you took him in. I can't blame anybody except myself and Chris for what happened as a result of me helping Chris or trying to help Chris. And it's like, you knew what you were getting into. There's a whole fucking Wikipedia specifically about how trying to help Chris is a terrible fucking idea. So I don't know what he's upset about. But here's his indictments. You ready? Here's the summary of all these messages with him. He claims that Liz Fong Jones dumped him like a sack of potatoes. Fong Jones realized that he was useless and got rid of him. Okay. He has this autistic thing that all autistic people do, where he has trouble understanding new concepts. Like if you try to educate an autistic person that's really autistic, they can't learn new stuff. But what he can do is associate concepts with each other. So he knew what Randy's stare was, and he internalized Randy's stare, and he obsessively found ways to compare Randy's stare to Chris Chan. And he was trying to, he constantly brought up Randy's stare with Chris and tried to get him to channel Randy's stare, which if you don't remember, if I remember correctly, Randy's stare fucking killed somebody. So he was trying to like turn Chris into a Randy's stare that would eventually kill somebody. He denies this, but it was like his autistic obsession. And then he made something about the final protagonist. He wanted to be the final protagonist of the Chris Chan universe because in his world, the wiki is like a fictional narrative, and he was going to be like the final hero or some shit, and everyone would love him, and he would be hailed as like a hero in the. Just so you know, buddy, all that shit's fake. The entire Chris Chan written universe is fucking fake. If you talk to Marvin, all that shit's fucking fake. The narratives and the arcs that are recorded on the Quickie are recorded as a fictionalized version of what actually happened. Chris never had an interest in doing half the shit he was put up to. He had a constant ring of trolls around him in the beginning who impersonated everybody he knew and impersonated all of his friends and constantly hype-manned him to get him to do certain things. Like the Casey call. The Casey relationship, entirely fake. Chris Chan didn't like her. That's why he didn't care. If you listen to the father call, you might just think, based off what's written, oh, he's a really bad boyfriend. He doesn't care at all about his girlfriend, Casey. Oh, what a jerk. The fact is, he never cared. They constantly had to coax him along to get him to care. And that's why he seems like so disaffected when he's talking about his girlfriends, like the Australian girl that supposedly burned alive in Australia. He's just like, oh, I hope she didn't die in the fire. It's like, yeah, he sounds like he doesn't give a shit because he literally doesn't give a shit. It's all fucking fake. They have to keep pressuring him to get him to do stuff. You're never going to be a hero in this universe because it's not real. There are no protagonists. It's a bunch of mentally ill teenagers fucking with a man who shits his pants and fucks his mom. There's no heroes in this story. There's no protagonists. There's just villains. They're all villains. They're all fucking weirdos. I'm a fucking weirdo because, truth be told, I was trying to help Chris in some roundabout way that it might help me. And that's everybody. I just thought that I was doing it the nicest. I was the protagonist. But no, we're all fucking assholes. And if we were all smart, we would have never have done anything. We never would have interacted with Chris. We're all bad. That's the truth. So just but in his mind, everything is anime. Everything is bad guy and good guy. You can tell the bad guy is bad because his hair is a dark color. And the good guy is good because their hair is blue. And blue is a good color. This is like white and L and light Unigami and the Death Note. And the Kiwi Farms in the Death Note, and I'm the L and he's the light and I'm the protagonist and he's the bad guy. And I'm going to save the internet and the Quistan extended universe. So he's just obsessed with me. He's been for fucking years. But he misses the forum. It was just insane. Just join the fucking forum. Look, you just go up to the top and you make a new fucking account. Nobody would even know until you start spurging about fucking Randy Stair again. So here's it. Okay, honest to God, the people who really hate the forum and who hate me have developed an entire extended universe of weird shit about the forum and me. And I would like to go over this. If you've ever heard me reference a secret cat, the secret cat is one of their memes. Because sometimes you hear a sound in the background of my room, and the theory is that there's a cat, and I have to keep this secret. Now, why I would keep a secret cat secret, I don't fucking know. Why that would be interesting to somebody if I have a cat or don't have a cat, I also don't fucking know. But this is an actual conspiracy. The secret cat exists. They've speculated on it for years about the secret cat. But here's the other conspiracies. You ready? Null transitioned in 2022 or 2023. Null fell in love with Katsu Kitty. If you don't know, Katsu Kitty was one of the first admins on the Kiwi Farms back in this time period. Now, again, for an autistic mind, this is very hard to understand. But things are not static. Things are not always the way they always have been. And they won't always be this way forever. Things change. In the early years of the Kiwi Farms, this was before the transgender craze. One of our early admins in the Christian era was a guy called Katsu Kitty who was gay. And he was an admin. And this was okay because it was 2014 and there were no issues with weird tranny shit at this time. When the tranny shit happened, Katsu actually trooned out. I like Katsu. He was a nice friend. He was a good administrator. And he was one of the only people ever to actually help me technically administrate the Kiwi Farms. And so when he trooned out and left, that's pretty sad. Because I considered him a friend. But of course, in an autistic binary world, we have to have been gay lovers. Because that's the only way that would make sense. And in the autistic binary of only understanding the present as an endless past and future that has never changed, tranny shit back then was the exact same tranny shit that it is today. Null is a pansexual. Null hates troons because they remind him of himself. It couldn't be that they've tried to censor my fucking website for 10 plus years and have sued me and sued my best friends and tried to censor the internet and managed to get the most powerful financial institutions in the entire world to come down on absolutely everybody. Has nothing to do with any of that. Null and the Kiwi Farms won't be around by 2028. Those 800 Kiwi Gold subscriptions are just Null collecting the bag before running away. I promise you my bills are way too high for that. Null is greedy, like DSP for not stopping at 600. The goal was 600. It still is. 600 is like the minimum. I've raised it to 800. The reason why I raised it to 800 is because if I want to keep adding cute new icons, the goal has to keep increasing to add more stuff. Obviously, 800 is better than 600, but the goal is still 600. The Kiwi Farms will collapse hard when Null does something that nobody will like, revealing more of his dark side. The Blockland Forums Null is 1 day away from coming back out. Null probably has BPD. Okay. Null is more comfortable now revealing his pedophilia, referring to the Pragmata Dianthropus. Okay, this is the most insane shit. When I picked out pictures of like how fucking creepy the Pragmata child is, it became like an open, like a flashpoint for fucking retards to say like, look, he's looking at children sexually. Like, no, I'm putting out how fucking creepy this shit is. I still don't understand the people who are like defending that shit, but I don't know. Apparently I'm in the minority there. And apparently the beauty parlor enables me. Noel could have closed down the Kiwi Farms and walked away after the hack, after Chris Chan got arrested and during drop Kiwi Farms. I mean, I could fucking turn it off right now if I really wanted to, but why would I do that? He wants to make his own forum, by the way. He wants to take over the site. He wants the Death Note. That's the whole thing. Even he considers himself the L to my light Shinigami, but he just wants the Death Note for himself, basically. Clyde thinks that Noel needs to stop listening to Cancer and said Noel could talk to Sean anytime. Why would I ever want to talk to you? You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking faggot. You're a demented fucking faggot. Like, it's unreal that you think you can just like buzz around like a fly eating shit to a crowd of like 10 people for 5 fucking years because you can't get over the fact that you're not the final protagonist of the Christian era, and then bring me to like a negotiating table to demand that I close threads and we can just pal around. Like, you should fucking kill yourself. You're a piece of shit. Oh, but then he's afraid. He's afraid to talk to me. I guess because he's afraid I'm going to kill him or something. I'm gonna open my Death Note and write his name down and force him to commit suicide, as I did all those poor innocent trans women. Both made a very original comparison between Noel and Low-Tax. I have never in my life been called Low-Tax, and this is so offensive to me. Rumors of Noel grooming an heir to take over the Kiwi Farms. Tough fucking luck with that. I can't think of anybody who could do half what I do. Maybe Krunk, but Krunk can't assume any kind of liability. He would peace out the second that there was any kind of reason he has to dox himself. Many people thought Noel would hand the Kiwi Farms over to Marvin in 2020 when Noel was getting burned out. Noel will never grow the Kiwi Farms as that ship sailed a long time ago. Well, we'll see about that. That might be right. Regarding Chibi Reviews, this is what they need. Oh, this is the new final protagonist. The anime lolicon is going to bring me down. And initially, Clyde has a really low opinion of Chibi Reviews, but sometimes later, Clyde says he thinks Chibi Reviews is toying and baiting Noel for the lulz. I mean, he's doing it for money, not for the lulz. And that's it. So there you go. Tread Miller has baited the final protagonist of the Chris Chan era, flushed him out, confirmed his identity. Really remains to be seen what will happen now. I'm kind of interested to see, is he going to go full insane? Is he like, now, oh my God, now he's talking about me on his podcast. Take the mask off, bro. Show your face. Be a real man. Why are you hiding behind the avatar? I made this post on the Fediverse, but it's like, what's really annoying about being me in general is that it's not that I have to deal with people like this all the time. And it never stops, by the way. Like, they never go away. Like, Nick Ricada posts about me every day. Vordrax still posts about me every day. The retarded woman that Vordrax fucking now posts about me every day. Like, these people never go away. So it just builds over time. Like, the number of people who hate you and obsess over you every day never goes away. And, but that's not the issue. The issue is that people like this are free to do whatever the fuck they want. Liz Fung Jones can do whatever the fuck he wants. If he DDoSes me, I have no recourse. If he attacks my security providers, I have no recourse. If someone goes after my family, I have no recourse. If someone goes after my staff, I have no recourse. If someone calls employers of people who post on the farm, I have no recourse. I have to obey every law. I have to obey tax laws better than anybody else. More than anybody else alive, I have to make sure that what I do is not only completely and totally compliant with the laws and regulations of every relevant authority in the entire country, and it also then has to be morally consistent with the framework that I, as a horrific moral fag, have built myself. Rules about not going after people, not interfering with somebody's real life, never reporting people to the IRS, not cooperating with the feds, and never going after their work or their family. And it's like, if I, God fucking forbid, if evil Blockland Josh did come out, and I could go double barrel and just empty out all the things I know to do to fuck with people into someone I really hated, it would feel really good. I'm just going to say it. There's a bunch of people. I have a short list of people where if I could just unload both fucking barrels onto them and do all this awful, terrible shit that people do to me all the fucking time, It would feel really good, but I just can't because I am the most accountable man in the entire world. Accountable to every government, every agency, at every level, local to the IRS. And I also have to be the goodest boy all the time because if I do anything untowards, then people develop it into their lore, their personal accountability track for everything that I do. So I have to be the goodest boy all the fucking time to maintain my reputation, maintain the reputation of the forum, and to stay out of trouble. And it's very frustrating. That's what's really frustrating. It's like, I wish I could do to people what they do to me. And I just can't. I just have to eat shit. Anyways, that's my vent. Narrow. I posted this rant on the Fediverse, and someone said, narrow is the path of the slobber mutt. And it's true. Narrow is the path. There is more evidence in the Chud the Builder case. My torch does light the fucking... Thank you. You know what? I have a hamster for this. I'm just going to throw... I don't get to post this hamster very often. But now that you said that, I feel like doing it. I'm going to bring him out. Where is he? Aha! I need my news ham for it because it's like a separate hamster that sits on top of it. There he is. Oops. It's the Statue of Liberty ham. And guess what? Her torch lights the way, chat. That's me. All right. In the Chud the Builder case, they have found evidence in his car. They found body armor, firearms, and a one-way ticket to Istanbul, Turkey. I would love, in the chat right now, to hear your thoughts as to why Chud the Builder was planning on going to Turkey. Was he planning on going to Istanbul and saying the N-word at Turkish people? I don't understand. Was he planning on fleeing the country? How would he get a ticket to flee the country before he had charges? I mean, I guess he was already facing issues with his bail because he had been released. A hair transplant? He has hair, though. Is this a joke? He has hair. More hair? I honestly can't tell if you guys are joking or not, because everyone in unison started shouting hair at me, and that sounds like a plausible excuse. Extra hair. We're fucking with you. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Evil Sponge. You really staggered me there. I didn't know what to say. That's all I have to say about that. He's still being held. Judge Poland. Oh my God. Reset the bond at $1 million. There was some fucking asshole, I can't remember his name, but one of these like weird kick guys that have like 50,000 live viewers offered to post his bail if he agreed to fight him or something. So I don't know what's going on with that, but 1 million is extraordinarily high. But I think he's being charged with like attempted murder as like a hate crime, so that would be why. Aiden Ross, thank you, chat. When I've been more active on the Kiwi Farms Twitter, I've been talking about promoting it and using it as a way to flow traffic back into the site. And I've made the decision that like big channels like that Offkai and the Drama Alert channel, they talk about like Aiden Ross and iShowSpeed. And I just think like, I'm not going to talk about any of those people. They're really popular, which is why I guess people talk about them. But it's like when you say like iShowSpeed and Aiden Ross, I have like no mental image for these people. I have no concept of who they are. I have no investment in them. I just know their names because they keep cropping up. But it's like, I don't want to follow that shit. I have no interest in that shit. My shit is Patricia Taxon, Sean Walker, and that kind of lame retard shit that I guess isn't in fashion anymore. Speaking of Chibi, I should have put this after the Sean Walker thing, but Internet Archive or Anarchist, who has 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube, published a video about Chibi Reviews, and I'm actually shocked by how competent the brigading is. from like this side of the internet. Like there has to be a Discord with 10,000 plus gooners, lolly gooners at the ready, who will take up arms and like mass brigade every comment section, every tweet with shit like this. Yeah, he got doxxed, but he deserved it for shit posting online video. So like he's a pedophile and he got doxxed, but he deserved it. It's like, yeah. Video is so shite he had to post it twice. They got up in arms because there was like one tweet that appeared for 5 seconds that was fake. So he had to edit that out and he had to repost it to accomplish that. So they took that as a massive victory. Yeah, I may have doxed you and threatened to kill you, but you were weird and that's worse. Actually, he interpreted a Soyjack party video as about a bone chair as being a death threat. So that's not really threatening to kill somebody, but 500 people agreed with us apparently. Remember, people, those who shout wolves the loudest are 100% wolves themselves. This is actually not true. I've always wondered, it is my personal fascination that whenever lolicons get defensive, they bring up this guy called Dr. Pizza. Dr. Pizza was like a Kotaku journalist or some shit during Gamergate who was very anti-anime and anti-lolly. And famously, he was arrested for possession of child pornography. And so if you say anything about lollies, they will come at you and they will say, you're like Dr. Pizza. You're probably a pedophile. And it's always made me wonder, like, if a pedophile who masturbates actively to child pornography looks at your lolicon, your lolly stuff, and says, that looks like child pornography to me, is that not like a really good argument against you? How is that an argument in your favor? Like if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and the guy that masturbates to the duck is like, yeah, that's a duck. I don't understand how that's a defense. That sounds like, yeah, an expert opinion. It sounds like you called in the fucking researchers. And you called in the guy with the accreditation and he was like, yeah, for sure, this is it. I don't get it. But it's a complicated thing. Imagine using green Reddit as a source. This is a blood libel against my beautiful website. Internet anarchists defending real pedophiles. What a time to be alive. From a VTuber, from Kashimu VR. So this guy's on virtual VR headsets with a lolicon avatar probably. I don't know, it just bewilders me where it's like, this is what I mean by the porn thing when I talked about the credit card censorship, where it's like they had to give the bone back because the jig was up. When they pissed off the gooners and they threatened to take away the precious thing from the anime gooners, they were like, oh no, this might actually lead to real change. That's the only thing they fucking care about. Imagine if any of this energy was directed towards something productive, but instead it's directed towards defending the honor of Chibi Reviews and the honor of and integrity of people who masturbate to drawings of children. Just nuts. Oops. Oh, and Chibi responded by threatening to sue him, which is just nice. That's what we really need. This guy can't afford to fucking sue anybody, by the way. Next, Patrick S. Tomlinson, high off the wins that he's raking in recently, dedicated his newfound free time to completing a little personal project that he wanted to show off to the internet. Let's check it out, chat. This is his balcony.
And here we are. After some trials and missteps, we have a completed balcony.
So, it looks like he just put some wood down on top of the roof of his, like, overhanging porch. And, I don't know about you guys, but that looks real fucking jank to me. You know what I mean? I guess it's hard to say because, like, if you look at this way, like, from the beginning, it looks really, really janky and slanted. But now I think that he's leveled the railing, but the actual floor is slanted. So it had a sloped roof over the balcony, and he's decided to try to keep the balcony itself level, but the floor is not level, so it looks really slanted. And then when you have the post, the front-facing side and the side-facing side are at different heights. They don't match, which is very disjarring. But that's because of the slant of the floor. He wanted to align the balcony better to the level. And that side, on that axis, that is flat. So he doesn't have to have it slanted like on this side. So he kept this flat and it just doesn't align perfectly. I think that it is disjarring. It's very visually off-putting. I feel like it would have been better to keep the sides slanted as well, or to actually hire somebody to change the balcony overhang roof so that it's flat as opposed to being slanted. Yeah, why couldn't he level the floor? That's my thought. It probably is a lot of work to replace the roof entirely with something like that and keep it level. But so he couldn't do that himself. He could do the railing. And I imagine he's just like nail gun down the planks onto the actual roof underneath it. And he's just like, that's okay. That'll do. So, that's bizarre. It does not look good. Maybe once he gets his $500,000 from the city of Milwaukee, he can hire a Mexican to do it better. This is a very fun clip from Linus Tech Tips. Linus Tech Tips, of course, who is famous for saying that racism is dumb, and he race mixed with an Asian woman to obliterate the white race, very proudly, who has a declining media company and still decided to buy a private jet for an influencer travel agency. And what's the other thing? Oh, he had a tranny on his show. I forget his name. It was like Chris, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. But he read this out aloud. He was on Discord, I think, and he decided to read all the names of people on Discord who he talks to. One of them was familiar to me and unexpected.
Vast majority of creators that I talk through is through Discord.
So of
nobody
the
wants to
people
use
here,
anything else.
We've got Ludwig.
I
Gerald
saw a
Undone,
couple of them in here. Yeah.
Shroud, Finster, Bokabola, Elijah, and you. I think you count.
Sure.
And then the only work ones in here are Eshtek.
I missed it.
I saw a couple of them in here. Yeah.
Shroud, Finster.
And what's funny is that I guess at some point he mentioned or realized after mentioning Finster that people are going to make fun of him for that. So he had to dedicate a full minute to addressing the 7-second soundbite of him reading off his Discord friend list.
I can kind of, through these frames, Luke.
Dude,
I can see
freaking out about Finster.
I can see the
through these frames. Is that like meta glasses? Is his producer like sending him panic message like, "Oh God, what have you done?"
Future. Oh, to be clear, I don't. So I talked to Finster once 5 months ago, basically. Just saying, hey, it was cool that you came to visit our office.
I think people are just surprised.
Yeah.
That's even worse. He's just casually mentioning that the Finster rolls up to the Linus Tech HQ. Just a little bit of an unannounced drop off. Very suspicious. I hope you're getting. Are you keeping it strictly professional? You're not playing any Minecraft together, are you? Back there in the Linus mines.
Elijah introduced me. Yeah, I don't.
On Elijah, by the way. So he's like, oh, I don't even know who they are or anything. It's just like, Elijah. It's Elijah's fault. It's Elijah's fault.
I don't know very much about a lot of the people that I message, but I've heard that she's pretty cool.
Sure.
So, and I think she came up for LTX once or something. I think visiting the LTT camera department. Something. Oh no, friend met you. Yeah, I don't know. I got introduced, and from what I've heard, she's pretty cool. That's That's all I know.
I just thought it was funny seeing the chat explode.
Yeah. And apparently very popular with our audience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
They love her. By the way, this person explains, you would never have guessed that it was Elijah Horner, aka Bokabola, who introduced Linus to Finster. This is the same guy, by the way, who has 10 severe concussions, is a diagnosed schizophrenic, has a degenerate gooner gaming setup, and actually bought Bella Delphine's bathwater. Oh God, do I open this? That guy looks like a degenerate gooner.
We're getting one for Short Circuit.
You bought a bathwater keyboard?
I have good reasons. My keyboard was breaking. I like collector's edition things, and I wanted a keyboard in that color scheme. It was great. It was a good deal.
Even Linus with, by the way, I've learned that in certain parts of the country, especially more conservative parts of the country, gay people out themselves with little earrings. I don't know what it is. It's just like the way that they like announce, like if you're in like a super rural part of the US that's still like very conservative, very MAGA country, they put in those little earrings, and that's just how they like show themselves without being like super open about it. So I always, whenever I see shit like that, I'm like, oh, he's a bit queer. That one right there, I think that boy's a bit queer right there with that earring in. I want to see this game.
It was great. It was a good deal.
1000% stolen.
Well, it's all part of the upgrading. It's like backup stuff just in case we don't need it or we do need it, you know? But yeah, stolen. Like
he went and took these off of our set deck so he could have the limited edition ones.
They were in the generic bin.
Backup stuff.
I bet $1,000 they were in the generic bin.
Listen, buddy, this fucking cheapskate. People stealing or used parts is part of the job description, okay? I had a bunch of leftover fans. You know what I've done? I have like I said, I have a server rack. And you can't see? What? Oh, it's picture in picture. I'm so sorry. No wonder why it doesn't show up. Dude, look at this shit. Move the fucking button. Why is the picture in picture button and the full screen button overlapping? Fix this. God, I fucking hate Neil Mahan.
I paid for every single one of those.
He's like he's going through his employee's room, and instead of commenting on his setup and like the personality of his room, he's just like inspecting all of his equipment and asking if he's stolen from him. What a fucking loser. Is this degenerate Gunnar setup? This is really? You have the money to do anything? Oh, dude, look at that fucking keyboard. He has like a dude, that's a trend-colored keyboard. Look at that. No, show the whole thing.
Like we could be out of here by lunchtime. All he wants to do is
that is a tranny keyboard for sure. That is not a coincidence. That's the white, pink, and baby blue. That's fucking tran-coded. Okay. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it now. This guy's a fucking sicko. Okay. Is that his computer? Is his computer just like an abstract geometric shape? Do people do this? Why the fuck would you expose your computer internals to static electricity in the air? Why would you do this? Bizarre. Anyways, that's the Finster update. Oh boy, okay, this is actually exciting. This is news that's up in my sphere, okay? I have spoken about Pacon1 on this stream many times. He is one of those guys on YouTube who I will listen to for background noise. And he annoys me at various levels. I'm aware that as he's a Twitch streamer, he has to be meticulous about his reputation, okay? And one of the things he had to do was fire from his multiplayer crew a guy called Dressel, because apparently Dressel went a little bit too far in the Hearts of Iron 4 roleplay. The most annoying thing about him, as somebody who doesn't really intently watch any of his content and never watches him live, is that, and I don't know why the fuck he has never fixed this, but it's trivial. It's trivial to take your OBS and configure it so that the browser overlay responsible for donation alerts records audio to a different audio channel than your main audio channel, so that you can take that shit out when you upload the edits on YouTube. It takes literally 30 seconds to set this up, and then when you get donations, they don't show up in the edited video, which is super annoying when you're quickly editing something and they don't even start and finish. Like, he'll cut one donation alert like a quarter of the way through and then start it in another, like a halfway through another one. So it's just like really jarring and annoying. And what is extremely annoying is that his donation alert is a clip from the show Panzer und Girls, I think, which doesn't even make sense because that's like half German, half English. But I guess they wanted the fucking autist department to understand that it's about girls. So you can't say Frau. Frau doesn't sound very sexy. The anime retards want to make sure that it's girls. So it's this clip from the show Panzer und Frauen, and the Frauen and they're weird. They're like anthropomorphizations of like either tanks or like nation states during World War II. And there's a part where all the tank girls get together, and Mädchen, they get together and they say Panzer vor, and that is his donation alert every few minutes. Panzer vor. Panzer vor, because autistic people, they like repetition and they want to make sure that they stem. And when they hear the Panzer vor, they want to hear that over and fucking over again. And they want to be rewarded for their money by getting to hear the funny sound over and over again. Okay? So, for a charity live stream, I believe it was a charity live stream, Pacon1 broke his avatar, which is like the Danish flag guy, because he's from Denmark. Shout out to all the Danish people out there. And after reaching his goal, which was $20,000, he did the meme, chat.
Panzer vor! Oh god, you actually saw my boxes there. That's not TOS.
One of my favorite clips of all time. Suffa bish. I wonder if it's weird. Is it weird when you're like just some nobody Hearts of Iron 4 streamer, most famous for like this little stupid YouTube channel where they upload multiplayer clips? Is it weird to find out if the admin of like a notorious hate and transgender murder website is just like a casual watcher of your channel and makes fun of you to his podcast audience? Is that like a weird feeling? I feel like that'd be a weird feeling. But then I don't know. I don't feel that weird when it's like famous people casually, like when Espeon casually name drops the Kiwi Farms. It's like it's funny to me, but it's not awkward. I feel like it's really awkward to know that the devil himself is like breathing down your neck. Someone confront him on this. I want an answer. Clip this segment and send it to him. And after the annoying ass Panzer Faux thing plays, I want his live reaction. Does it skeeve him out to know that the devil himself breathes down his neck and watches his stupid fucking YouTube videos? I want to know what the actual live reaction is from a human being. So why am I talking about this again? Because I've mentioned this like 4 fucking times now. Because he is banned from Twitch. Why did he get banned from Twitch? There's a clip for it. Let's find out.
Here we go. This is what I've been banned for. And then we can talk about it afterwards.
It's the thing. That's the thing I'm talking about all the fucking time. Never fucking stops. Sorry, repeat it because I interrupted this.
Here we go. This is what I've been banned for. And then we can talk about it afterwards.
Fucking dominate.
You should have glassed Russia. That's one thing that I am a staunch supporter of at this point. If anything, after World War II, the Allies should have just glassed Russia. That's my opinion on it. They were pussies for not just wanting to glass them. That's what it was.
I don't know, but that would have killed a lot of innocent.
Instead of dropping the second bomb on Japan, they should have just dropped it on Moscow.
Bo is fucking holding blood feast. He's holding blood feast.
No, they should have. They should have just gotten rid of them. Literally, just get rid of Russia.
Respectable bipartisan.
I'm being dead ass. They should have just glassed them before they had their own nukes.
I don't think John Fetterman would
agree. Don't care. With hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, and how retarded the Russian population is for not like doing anything against their fucking dictator and authoritarian regimes, they should have glassed them. They should have just glassed the whole fucking.
Very hot take. I don't know a lot about his politics. My understanding is that he's a member of the Church of Denmark. Now, this is probably impossible for an American to conceptualize, but I know in Germany and probably in Denmark, you do not get to donate to a church. And this is true. I'm not making this up. You do not get to donate money to a church and then write it off on your taxes. You have to declare to the government that you are a parishioner at a church. And then you automatically tithe the church based off, like, I don't know if it's like a fixed amount or if it's up to a certain amount, but they automatically take out of your wages and garnish your wages and send it to that church to to support it. So you don't get to just give money. You have to subscribe. You have to declare to the government your church allegiance, and then they take that money out of your church or out of your paycheck like it's Social Security and send it to them as a tithe. So they very strictly regulate church donations and financial activity in Germany. In Denmark, it might be a thing, or it might be a thing only with the Danish church. I'm not sure exactly how it works in Denmark, but it's probably very similar to Germany because Denmark's basically just fucking Germany. They don't want to admit that. I mean, they did for a while. After 6 hours of negotiation, they did agree to be part of Germany for a while. But then we undid that. And then, here's a fun Danish fact. You see this part of Germany up here? That's right under Denmark? That's called Schleswig-Holstein, which is the union of Schleswig and Holstein. And Holstein used to be a part of Denmark. And after the war, the Allies were like, Denmark, do you want a part of Schleswig-Holstein? Do you want Holstein back? And they're like, no, there's too many Germans in it. So they never got Holstein, even though they were offered free land because it had too many fucking Germans. That is a true story about the history of Denmark. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so he was tweeting about the Church of Denmark, and he said something about how they didn't oppose bans on abortion, and he was kvetching about that. And he says, like, I am a member of the Church of Denmark, and I'm really disappointed that they are not doing more for women's abortion rights. And so everyone's called him a livecock. Now, I am unaware if he's like super anti-Russia in regards to this war, but his perspective seems to be aligned very much. By the way, this is a very strange thing, but like the average European is extremely anti-war until you ask them about their opinion on Russians. And then they're like, Russians, they're like fucking authoritarian fascist dogs. The Russian mongrel can't lick a boot hard enough. They're just genetically predisposed to authoritarian cock up their fucking ass, and we should have glassed them all. And that's like the moderate liberal take on Russia in Europe. It's an extremely strange place, Europe is. The people of Europe have endured hardship, and they've lost the control of their own destiny to the United States after the war. And it places them in a very strange position, mentally speaking, in regards to self-perception, perception of the world. But they seem to have a very negative opinion of Russians as a people, as a whole, because when they look at, like, Putin has, like, 90% approval ratings after the war, they're just like, God, they're all fucking animals. We should have just kept the tanks on rolling straight to Moscow. Those motherfuckers, sons of bitches. Fucking Schweinhunds. Just start frothing. But that appears to be Pacon1's take as well. The General Patton was right, and we shouldn't have stopped until all animosity in Europe was quenched. And that's it for that. It's a little, he got banned. The follow-up to it is that he is on Kick, and he's actually quite happy because Kick has a partner program where you get paid based on viewership. I am not in the partner program. I fucking emailed them like, hey, can I join the partner program? And then I guess that got flicked over to Evil Eddie's desk because I'm like flagged or something. And he said, fuck no. So I don't get paid for your viewership aside from what you give me. But Pacon1 does. He just joined the platform. He's in the partner program already. And he gets hundreds of dollars just from his audience of 500 people watching him play Hearts of Iron 4. The fucking bastard. Oh, he's live right now. Fucker. I can't go there? Why can't I watch Pacon1? There he is. Watch, he's playing Hearts of Iron 4.
Fighting slot, please. We can get the press mobile.
What is he, Canada? Dude, imagine this. Imagine you can play any country in the entire world during World War II, and you're like, Canada, buddy. I think that when you play Canada in Hearts of Iron 4 in a multiplayer game, you're stuck being the Air Force bitch. Basically, the way that the game works in multiplayer is that there's one guy designated like the Air Force bitch, and everyone sends all their planes over to the Air Force bitch, and he just manages the Air Force for everybody. I think that's what he's doing when you're playing Canada. So he's a fucking leaf right now. Anyways. I mean, someone's gonna be the Air Force bitch. It's not meta if you're not the Air Force bitch. Play that new EU game. I've heard EU5 is bad. And And I'm not very good at Hearts of Iron 4. I'm just gonna say it. Did I cover the Gunther Grisha match? I have not. I'm sorry. Is it like a boxing thing? I do have this though. Okay, so Clavicular cut a deal. The world is not going to fall atop Clavicular. He's getting a sweetheart deal. Because let's be honest here. When you look smacks, everyone's sympathetic towards you. Everyone's going to bend over for you, okay? And they're going to kiss your ass because you're just so beautiful. So he got a sweetheart deal. He gets 6 months probation, which will come off his record if he completes it successfully. He has to complete a firearm safety course, which I assume includes a special footnote about not firing it into dead gators in a Everglades. And he has to complete 20 hours of community service. So Clavicular has been given rehabilitative justice, and I'm sure he'll be just fine. Unless streamer hijinks cause him to fail his program. However, the real punishment was not what he was sentenced to. It was who he was sentenced by. As Clavicular stood there, hearing his fate ordered down to him by the judge, he had to sit and
Streamers
be
accused of firing a gun.
face mogged. Despite living his entire life under a looks-maxing ethos for 10 years, the judge casually, with no effort, moggs him in the handsome department. This man has never heard of looks-maxing. This man has never thought about beautifying himself. He gets his hair cut by the same barber he's gotten his hair cut since he's left the military. And he just naturally, effortlessly, thoughtlessly face mogs poor Clavicular in the court of law. Truly the biggest L ever taken. Next. By the way, there was a very funny comment that someone made where it's like people were talking about how the judge was face mogging Clavicular. And someone made a comment like, oh, it's so nice that men have found a way to compliment each other without sounding gay. It's like, yeah, it is kind of like that. If you call someone handsome, you sound a little bit fruity. You say that he face mogs them. That's manly. That's masculine right there. Anyways, so Destiny is dead. Not that one. The other one. Steve Bennell. And he's not dead. He's banned off Twitch. Which, if that sounds familiar, it's probably because I just talked about Pacon1 getting banned off Twitch. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Destiny was banned off Twitch 50 months ago, I think it was. A long-ass time ago. Years and years ago. I think during COVID, when the trans issue was first becoming a big deal and costing Democrats and liberals a lot of face, Destiny took the very, very controversial stance of, you know, some trans girls are just fucking idiots and we shouldn't listen to them. That was his take. He said that some of the deranged, insane gender freaks who were dragging down everybody on the left and eventually caused them to lose the 2024 election because it is actually written scientific law now that the advertisements hitting Kamala Harris on supporting gender inclusion in sports were some of the most damaging campaign ads in the entire election cycle. Despite the fact that Destiny was completely and totally right on this, they banned him for being problematic. And at some point, Dan Clancy, or someone on Twitch, unbanned Destiny. Well, not Dan Clancy, but somebody at Twitch. And as soon as Hassan heard the news, he went on a big tirade and literally took out his phone and started texting somebody midstream. And in that time, immediately after, Destiny was banned again. So literally, as soon as he heard that Destiny was unbanned, he checked it, contacted Dan Clancy personally. Dan Clancy freaked out and had him banned. And I think the reason for this is that Hassan has to look like the top dog or he gets insecure. Like he cries about how Asmongold is beating him in views now. So if Destiny is like online and gets more viewers than him, then he feels really bad about himself. And I think that's the entire justification for this. But it is quite fucking pathetic. I really hope that Twitch dies. Like, Twitch is just the worst fucking platform ever. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it rebound or get like a rehabilitation. I don't want to see like, oh, we're cool now. We're not going to ban everybody for everything. And then everyone's like, oh, dude, Twitch is back. I never want to see that. I want to see Evil Eddie shit down their throat and completely collapse their business and mog them all and ruin Twitch forever, because Kick is so much better than Twitch. It's unfucking believable. Not pictured here. Destiny said something about wanting to sue Hassan, because Hassan said when he was like super salty at the news, he said something like, yeah, sure, let's get the guy who wrote a manifesto about why he should be allowed to say the N-word back on Twitch. That's what we really need. That'll be great for our image. He was like just openly kvetching and seething about Destiny possibly being able to mock him in viewer counts and shit. But Destiny said that he never, ever wrote a manifesto about being able to say the N-word, and that is defamation of his character, his good character. Tiny's thread is still a jungle weird posting. It's different Discord Reddit snark groups arguing with each other, and Reggie site members wondering in awe what faggotry is going on. They're really weird, and they're really hostile towards me because I've asked them. There was something that he said before the revenge porn stuff, but then he got involved with like that 17-year-old, and I just had to give up on this point. But they kept calling him a pedophile, and they were calling him a pedophile for literally no reason other than the fact that he was like a super like porn addicted gooner. And I'm just like, can you guys not call him a pedophile until there's like a real reason to? And they got really fucking angry at me for saying that. And like I was a traitor to the cause of murdering Destiny. So I don't tend to interact with that thread much because it's just so hostile, and it's just like not funny hostile. Anyways, Candace Owens is going to be interviewing.
So the FBI is
Hunter Biden, which is I'm so happy for her, Slay Queen. Let's see what this trailer looks like.
So the FBI has had physical possession of Hunter Biden's
laptop, which reportedly contains, well, a lot of disturbing material.
You have access to that actual laptop.
A jury found Hunter Biden guilty of 3 felony gun charges.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Oopsies. He lied. He pardoned a crackhead. Hunter Biden. Welcome to the Candace Owens Show.
I've heard you call me a crackhead many times, and the truth of the matter is, I was a crackhead. The quote-unquote laptop, which, by the way, you know what the laptop proved?
That you were a crackhead.
There you go. My marriage fell apart, and it just started a really, really dark cycle. My brother called me and said, this has got to stop. And it forced me into a choice. And the choice was, do I get out of bed and live, or do I die?
DC is corrupt. Politics is corrupt.
But something's changed, Candace. It's not left or right. The DC elite of the left, they crushed my dad because he was never part of that club. He was never part of the Epstein class. You know one thing he didn't do? He didn't greenlight to turn Gaza into a Trump golf course with the maitre d' being Jared Kushner. War in Iran that they started, that every president before him was pressured by the Israelis.
And I do think there was something about the Charlie Kirk assassination that everyone just sort of looked up.
They're the people that Charlie Kirk made. The level of disloyalty or fear, I don't know what it is. And the criticism of you for asking the questions for someone who was like a brother to you, it's like, what the F are you talking about? I listen to you and I go, right on. The Acts of John, there is a thing that Christ says, you must learn to suffer as I do in order to be able not to suffer. And that is the greatest lesson of everything.
What was that?
In order
You must learn to suffer as I do.
to be able not to suffer.
It's very Buddhist. I've never heard that one before.
And that is the greatest lesson of everything.
So I guess we're going to rehabilitate a crackhead because he doesn't like Israel. So when you say Epstein class, what does that mean? What is Epstein class? Can I get a definition for Epstein class? Is there some unifying definition behind Epstein class that we can get to? That's gonna help us out here, help us understand what an Epstein class is. I don't know. I think it's Trump. I mean, at this point, I guess it is. But there you go. Apparently, there's going to be this hard-hitting interview with Candace. It's so weird. You'll always be the black woman that said that the Kiwi Farms is pretty dark web. Always going to be Mrs. Social Autopsy to me. But the whole world has moved on, chat. I've been left behind. Me and my petty little gossip forum. Everybody else on to bigger and better things. Is there anything to say about quartering? I feel like it's run its course. There's more people getting flagged. The Kino Cathedral thing got flagged. And supposedly it's somebody else besides the quartering, but we're just gonna blame the quartering. I know that someone else took credit for it, but it's sort of like when a terror attack happens in Islam, and then like all these different terror groups try to take credit for it. It's like, are we really gonna sit here and split hairs and try to identify the flaggets? No, we're just going to blame Jeremy. Like blame Canada in that song on South Park. We're blaming Jeremy. It's his fault. He started it. We all hate him. He is the enemy, okay? Never forget the vile enemy, Jeremy Hambly, okay? Has anything else happened? I think the big plot line of Jeremy Hambly at this point is that he's flailing so desperately to try to find something that works for him that he's now trying to stream at like 9 a.m. because he just has no idea what to do anymore. And he just thinks that if he moves his time slot earlier, he's going to get like the early bird working men to like listen to him in the morning. And that'll be his slot, which is a very perplexing thing to me. The funny thing that they point out on Kino Casino when talking about this is that him waking up at 9 a.m. means that Melanie Mack also has to wake up at 9 a.m. So like a beaten dog, he's just dragging her along with. And she just has to cope with it. It's her job now. She has to wake up at 8 a.m., do her full face of makeup, and then sit in front of the camera first thing in the fucking morning. And he's aiming for the boomer. It's true. Old people like to wake up really early. That's your slot. You start streaming at 6 a.m. and you call it Good Morning Rumble. And then you're just like, Good Morning Rumble. And then you just cover like all, but you talk very slowly. Maybe that's why that's his audience. He's just talking in a way that boomers can understand. He's like, good morning. Oh my gosh, praise Jesus. It's another beautiful day here in the United States of America. I sure do have some news for you all. Hopefully, some good news. And then you just do that, and you just like talk to like old people. And then all the old people in America will put on Rumble on their TV thing and or their iPad. And they'll just watch that while they're like, because they've been awake for 3 hours already. So then... Literally Aaron's Steel Toe morning show? Yeah, I guess so. Because he was on FM radio. That's an idea for the Hambly. Hambly needs to get syndicated on FM for a 6 a.m. slot across the U.S. where he can talk about Trump or whatever and how much he loves Trump. That'll be popular. I was driving, and for a short drive, I didn't want to plug in my phone to listen to music. So the radio was on, and it was like some public access radio television thing, or not radio television, but just like a radio show. And I was very surprised, number one, that this still exists. But like, what was it? Oh, it was a guy talking about how his parents were terrorists, and they detonated bombs to destroy like government buildings while he was a child. And then they turned themselves in, and the government like dropped all the charges, and they got like 1 year in jail. They were part of something called like the Weather Underground or something. He's trying to shill his book, but it was like public radio. And he was just like, yeah, I didn't totally agree with like all of their politics, but it makes a lot more sense now that we live in fascism, and we need to like consider if maybe we should blow up more government buildings. And this was just like on PBS or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So very strange. Yeah, it was like hippie eco-terrorists. And it was like on PBS. It was like PBS radio. I was like, huh, that's strange. Or NPR. That's it, NPR, sorry. I don't usually listen to NPR. Okay. I have nothing more to say about Jeremy Hambly. I find him asinine. But we have to bully him. We have to thumbs down all his videos and thumbs down all the comments to his videos. And you have to continually make fun of him until he suffers. That's the gist of this, okay? And unless there's anything else anybody can think of, is there anything I should give my hot take on that I might have glossed over? I don't think so. Let me check my bookmarks on the forum and make sure I didn't forget something before I go to the Reddit segment. Oh, there was this is kind of news related, but it's worth mentioning because I like this tweet. There was a settlement that a clinic in Texas settled in regards to giving children gender reassignment surgery. And as part of their settlement, they agreed to open a detransitioning clinic in their hospital. So The Guardian published Texas's Children's Hospital to create first detransition clinic and win for Trump. And then Carius says, words can't describe how evil this is. Now, providing gender-affirming care in the way that Carius homosexual emoji doesn't approve of is evil, absolutely horrific, he says. And then replies to himself saying, this is a trans death camp, by the way. They will round up all the trans people in Texas in the next few years and send them all there. Any trans person that doesn't detransition will be killed. If you don't think we are living in modern Nazi Germany, you are not paying attention. Now, I wish I lived in the world that Carius homosexual emoji martini glass lives in, but I most certainly do fucking not live in that world. Oh, I forgot this part. I will feature this. And a little update on the Michael Jopps lawsuit. If you don't remember, Jopps is like revenge suing Billy Mitchell in the state of Florida, pro se. His daughter, Michelle Mitchell, has entered an appearance as counsel for the defendant. So Carl Jopps is now having to deal with an intergenerational blood feud from the Mitchells. I'm sure this will pan out perfectly for him, and he'll just continue to rack up fucking dubs. It really is just amazing how loathsome he is. Because I remember when I watched King of Kong, if you've never seen the movie King of Kong, I would recommend it. It's a good movie. If you watch it, though, you will despise Billy Mitchell. It's hard to say because it's a movie. And fiction, everything presented on film is fictionalized to some degree. But Billy Mitchell is a very good heel if he's not an outright bad person. Because in that movie, he is just the most contemptible piece of shit. And it is truly a work of a credit to Carl Jopps that he has somehow managed to make the King of Kong guy sympathetic in comparison to everybody else. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. Okay. Let's do Reddit, and then I think that will be all. So, Grammar Police says cops are apparently allergic to past participles. I was listening to a true crime podcast and noticed that many of the cops they interviewed were using the simple past after an auxiliary instead of using the past participle. He had saw, she had went. He had drove by there. Many have come upon it. Could have went out. He came home. He had ran off. He went off the road. He went off the edge instead of being took to the station. If someone had came to the door. He then clarifies, For what it's worth, none of them otherwise sounded remotely like AAVE speakers, African American Vernacular English, if you don't know. I'm black with a speech language pathology degree, and I can tell you this construction is considered normal in some varieties of African American Vernacular English. Just sounded like white dudes who think you slap had before all your past tense verbs. So this scholar and gentleman of the black persuasion went on to our grammar police to complain that those dirty white pigs speak as dumb as the average black person. And we can trust his opinions here because he is a speech language pathologist with a degree in that. Thank you. Very cool. U star. Oh God. And then this guy looked into his profile a little bit more to see if we could learn more about U star. And then he posted an evil autism. That is our evil autism. Autism and Black conference being held in the most transphobic ass state, tagged queer, autistic, and indoctrinating your children. Very Reddit. I saw that the Autism and Black conference is being held in fucking Florida. Aaron Reed? No way! That Aaron Reed? Really? Why is Aaron Reed hosting a black what? Dude, we have a thread on him. Yeah, we have a thread on Aaron Reed. What the fuck? Why is he hosting a conference for black autistic people in Florida? Aaron Reed lists Florida as do not travel. Oh, okay. He's not. He just has a list that says do not go to Florida for any reason. Depending on which study you look at, autistic people 5 to 10 is more likely to be trans or somewhere under the trans umbrella than allistic people. Okay. So why would you hold it there? Was this really planned without planning committees that doesn't know a single person who's trans? I was really interested in this organization as it's desperately needed, but now I'm wondering about them. I know the founder director was diagnosed as an adult after her kid was diagnosed, but is she one of those late diagnosed autistic people who don't actually associate with the broader autistic community? Anyone have any insight in the organization? Very cool that we have black trans people dunking on Whitey, but excusing Blackie and listening to Aaron Reed. Very cool. Okay. Evil autism has 3 flavors of post. They are in descending order of frequency. Type 1, the demonization of the other. Maybe they're the weird ones. Normal people, when you violate unspoken social rule number 745, section 9. Yeah. I mean, when you start talking about lollies in like the middle of a polite conversation, you're going to get hit with that neurotypical stare. And that's our polite way of saying that you're fucking weird. Ran into this today. Training NTs, neurotypicals, to become normal. So fully neurotypical girl is saying, so yeah, when this guy said that he's into my hyperfixation, I straight up went nonverbal for a sec. Like, he's icky. I almost had a meltdown, lol. And then neurodivergent says murder is illegal. So this person is using words that they don't like in a way that they don't approve of. And he wants to murder her for that. That's very on brand with autistic people. Type 2, aggressively advertising how fun and cool they are. Is my room scary enough for neurotypicals? So there's a bunch of like upside down crosses and shit, I guess. I don't know if that's like, that one's right side up, but it's red. So I don't know if that's like an evil cross. I guess it would be in an anime. So that probably is an evil thing. Oh, I do see a satanic thing back there. So I'm probably sure that this is Satanism. Well, there is a black man on your screen, so I'm going to say that this is very scary. I don't approve of this. Then we have a black autistic tranny. I'm going to say it's a tranny because it just looks like one. Cannabis is my special interest, and it's my favorite day of the year. Happy 420. Wow, a black person who smokes weed. Very unusual. This appears to be... No, I'm going to say that this is an actual woman. I'm gonna make that statement because it has hips. but it's dressed up in clown makeup. And it has from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and then Antifa stuff. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Sorry, I had a cough really bad. It's fine. We've got other stuff to worry about. And then it's a tranny with like, I don't know if that's really bad line art or cutting scars saying, there are people dying in wars right now. She's always been a tomboy. Lady, she, daughter, girl. Okay, so this is an autistic girl who is being groomed into tranniedom and is upset that Palestine is not free while also being misgendered. And then clarification on trans men and trans masculine people. Trans men and trans masculine people are welcome here. That should have been clear from the start. I mean, do they just assume that they're not welcome? Like if you walk into a Walmart and you don't see like a big sign that says your retarded autistic ass is welcome at this Walmart, do they just like start breaking onto hives thinking that like a redneck is going to beat them to death with like a lead pipe at any moment? Is that how that works? Our recent post about misandry was not clear as it should have been, and we understand why it caused concern. We apologize for that. What the fuck does that mean? Then officially come out and say that men suck, and they had to clarify all men except for trans masculines, even though they're totally valid as men. Oh, look, they even have the grooming hair infested HRT kits for sale. That's awesome. That's very useful. Here's how you can inject hair into your carotid artery. Make sure not to give yourself an embolism. That would be ever so terrible. Okay. That is our evil autism, I guess. And therefore, that is the Reddit segment. On that note, I will do the super chats. As I said at the beginning of the stream, the stickers will be for sale over the next week. It's all planned for. I just have to pay them and get the spec out. It'll start printing soon. $20, 100 or thereabouts, 125 different stickers, some vinyl, some eggshell for putting outside in public places. And I will see if I can compel PPP to do the rest of the Amazing Digital Circus. If you're interested in that, please subscribe to the Locals, matheinternet.locals.com, or Gumroad, matheinternet.gumroad.com. Both links are on matheinternet.com, matty.live. And at the end of this, if Pacon1 is still streaming, I will raid him. And you guys have to compel him to answer the question, okay? You have to compel him to tell me how it feels to have the devil himself watching his fucking streams. All right. Why no kick? We are on kick. I don't know what that means. All right, next. Not next. First super chat. Citrus Addict for one says, what the fuck is going on with the lads of anime who can't discern women from Tims? In their new threads, specifically posting their fantasies about women being PDFs fetish. No you though deflection both. There's apparently a very controversial thread on the Kiwi Farms called Female Pedophiles. And because I knew it would piss them off, I posted something like, over 60% of all sex offenders are male, which immediately causes like a meltdown. And they start saying, well, women do it too. But most of the sex offenses are like 20-something-year-old school teachers with like 17-year-old boys that get caught because they brag about it on social media, and not like infants being raped. So, I mean, even if it was the same exact profile of crime, it's still 90% plus of all those offenses are by men. And that's just stating that makes them upset. My favorite thing about stating that, by the way, is that 90% plus of all sex offenders in the United States are male. And still, the gender profile of victims is 50-50, which means that 45% of all sex offenses against children in the United States are by men against boys. And if you were to assume that 10% of the population is gay, that means that homosexual men are represented in child sex offenses by some order of magnitude. And if you do the math, a straight woman is 81 times less likely to molest a boy than a gay man is. So if you leave your child with a gay man, you're a fucking retard. That's how the math works out. Barillo Furman, for one, says nothing. Thank you. Breadwash, for one, says, so what are you getting up to this Memorial Day weekend? That's a good thought. Probably coding. I can't think of anything I'd rather do, to be honest with you at the moment. Atomic Angel, for 5, says, I was really excited for PPP to watch The Amazing Digital Circus per suggestion. I will be killing myself. Well, I'm happy you got what you paid for. Thank you. Hot Fart Fernando, for 5, says, you should hire Colbert to be your co-host. Maybe he'd actually show up on time. I doubt it. I have a feeling that Colbert is going to be riding off into the sunset. Maybe making a YouTube channel like Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's YouTube channel is doing really well, by the way. John Vent, for 5, says, have some kick money, Jersh. Thank you very much. Logistical Nightmare, for 5, says, oh boy, I can't wait to compile the Sneeder board of every single time someone on the site has said Sneed. Get your post in today to pump the number. I don't know if it will be able to get every instance. That's a pretty remarkable number of instances. Jersh, is your meth trailers just like the Oddcast? Well, I'll take a look at it, but I'm going to put it on screen for 5. You know, that is not a trailer. That's just a small home, buddy boy. Logistical Nightmare, for 5, says, I highly appreciate your attempt at reviewing TADC in good faith, especially since PPP was so inflamed about it. Can I get a Kinger with the hard R? What's a Kinger? Is that one of the characters? I can't name. Is Kinger the guy that's like a spring? It's the only thing I can think of. Thank you. Sneedberg Stein Goldman, for 10, says, instead of the Clussy show, PPP should force you to watch some Rassle. It's only fair. Apparently those are like 3 fucking hours long, bro. I don't know if I'd want to watch that. I am open to doing Has Been Hotel, though, because apparently that's being highly requested. If he is able to suffer through the remainder of the Digital Circus and the demand is high enough and the numbers show it, Has Been Hotel is on the fucking menu. Thank you. Peen Wienerstein, for 1, says, sup with PPP, make him watch the rest and force him to watch the finale in theaters. I'm telling him, bro, he needs to go watch it in theaters. He has the friggin' audacity to do it. I would never do that. That's fucking retarded. I'm gonna get shot. He even said that on stream. Like, you would totally just get shot going to one of these. It's true, I would. So I'm not going to. But he should do it. He's safe in Canada. TP Deluxe, for 5, says, if you and PPP do another series review, please do The Boys. It teeters on so bad it's good. A show that becoming a parody of itself due to the terminal TDS. It's fascinating. I've never heard of it, bro. I would need a stronger financial incentive, I think, to watch something like that. Thank you. Mr. Manchester, for 5, says, my favorite part of the clown stream was when PPP had to do his Ralph impression as a defense mechanism. Even his best technique fell to the Clussy. It's true. At some point in the review, PPP disassociated and started hallucinating Ethan Ralph and just started babbling nonsense in a Ralph voice. And I think that was like his actual mental defense mechanism to stay sane throughout the event because he was extremely upset. Thank you. Rungold Friend, for 10, says, please stop bullying me on Fediverse. I'm not bullying you. Trust me, you would know if you were bullied, okay? Thank you. John Dodarius, for 5, says, 10 out of 10 stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bussy Buffet, for 20, says, your rant here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Pussy... I said pussy. Ew. Bussy Buffet, for $25, gifted 5 subscriptions. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bleep Bloop gifted a sub. Thank you. Beep Bloop gifted 10 subs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Zent Suppa, for 1, says, Bungie is focusing on Marathon, which has its... Is that by the same... Why would they make their own... What? I didn't know they made Marathon. Why are they in competition with themselves? They're going to try to run 2 different live services that fight for the same audience? It doesn't make sense. I don't know why companies keep doing that, because fucking Valve is doing that with Deadlock and Dota 2. I guess Dota 2 is done for now, so they're just going to work on Deadlock, because that's the new fucking hip thing. I don't think you mentioned it, but they're doing mass layoffs as a result, so with writings on the walls, yeah, well, sucks to suck, I guess. Forest American gifted a sub, thank you. David S877 for $50 says, I have a solution for news gathering. Take this money and start breeding super intelligent news hamsters Good luck becoming a mad scientist. In Florida, if you become a mad scientist, you get abducted by women and forced to make cats immortal. So I'm not sure if that's in the cards for me, but I will consider your proposition. Thank you very much. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, will Josh realize his stream is still labeled as a mixtape stream? I did, as a matter of fact, if you want to know the truth about it, bish. Thank you. Sneeda Stanley for 1 says, Beyond Light's release coincided with Bungie deleting half the game, including paid content, and making 2 beloved characters fags. Also, the actual Witch Queen has a Pooner sister you kill in D1. Wow, that sounds absolutely abysmal. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, Oy vey, Ben Shapiro jump scare. Oh, that's so terrible. This is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You're just sitting there watching your TV show in the living room, and then Ben Shapiro's on your monitor. Peen Wittgenstein, for 1, says, sometimes I fall asleep to true crime videos on YouTube and will occasionally wake up to ads that's just Ben Shapiro shilling for Israel. I'd rather wake up to my house being robbed. I'm sorry to hear that. Irishal, for 5, says, you and PPP should binge watch and review Space King. It's only 4 episodes and together is 1 hour, 30 minutes long. Praise be to Space King. Are you like, is everyone going to, I'm surprised I haven't gotten anime suggestions yet. I don't know. Listen, you gotta conspire. You gotta raise the flags. You gotta be present on the locals. Okay. That's how I'm going to tally these votes up. Thank you. Pirate Mike 420 for 5 says, have a good Memorial Day with the regular Pats instead of the expats. Listening to any good music lately. Let me check title. Nothing new, really. Yeah, nothing new. Sorry. I think the song that I've been listening to the most while driving is Stay Off by Lindemann. But that is one of my favorite. Actually, Colby Acuff put out a new album, and I played one of his songs, but there is a song on it called Long Way from the Bottom, I think, that I am a fan of. Hope that helps. Euclid Sneed for 5 says, Das White. White is right. It's so true, King. Sneedo for 5 says, Twitter link, whoa, buddy, Jers Dent tried to defend him from the evil Kino Casino. Let's see this. Here's that Jer content you were promised. Oh, okay. So Brad Cool Unlimited is like his super fan, and he posted this Z. He says, I went on Kino Casino to defend the quartering, and some trolls subscribed me to their show. I am not a supporter of these people, but now it looks like I am. I just wanted to support Jeremy, but now my entire account and identity is tainted until June 20th. Dude, you can tell just by reading this and his composition of message and like the prose and like what he's concerned with, that this is just like a very genuinely low intelligence person. He's just not put together. He's probably like an IQ of 80 or something. Citrus Addict for 1 says, whites are obsessed with neighbors in the same way doctors are obsessed with disease, the way firefighters are obsessed with arson. Yeah, I'm obsessed with not being a victim of crime too. Goombercules for subscribe for 10 months. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Asian Tech Support for 10 says, take away Bruno Matti's deceased tag re. I did. Thank you. Colidante for 10 says, memorial Facebook pages are probably better than the alternative of just leaving the page in limbo. I knew a guy in high school who died and his dad got drunk and started posting on his page. Oh, that's fucking cringe, bro. That's suffering. Thank you. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 10 says, happy Asian American Pacific Islander Visibility Month. Okay. I love celebrating the shared heritage of this great country. Let's take a look.
We want game. We want beat. We want trap. We want trap queen. I am from Ching Chong, Ching Chong, Ling Ling Ling. One game, Hostino Dosso with Puto Rap. Puto Rap. Ling Ling Ling, Ying 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 Ying.
This is honestly one of my favorite. I still think of this every so often. I can't hear the name Wuhan without thinking of this fucking song. Like, the name is ruined forever for me. It's not, obviously it's the best thing that Playmate Tessie has ever put out. and will ever do ever in her life. Her life is basically over now, as far as like peaks are concerned. But it's also probably the best thing IP2 collectively is responsible for. Dark Western for 5 says, why do people say chomo instead of chimo these days? Chimo makes sense. It's child plus molester, but chomo, I don't get it. It's prison slang, bro. It's what the prisoners call child molesters. It's a child homo. I don't know where. Oh, mo. Yeah, it's child homo. It's usually refers to gay pedophiles, but it means both, and it's prison slang. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, Taxon's Agnes and Hilda song you use as an opening song still rattles around in my head out of nowhere. No notes, better than pop music. That's embarrassing. Even I don't have like a weird association with that song. It's really terrible. I'm sorry for doing that to you. Utilus Sneed for 2 says, musically doomed a generation with this lip syncing shit. It's so true. It's so fucking garbage. It's just bad. There's no redeeming qualities to it. Josh and Shipvic for 5 says, thank you for the new Kiwi Casino. Thank you. Also subscribed. Thank you very much. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, I love this playing mixtape bed at the video game stream. Thank you, renowned professional streamer Joshua Connor Moon, for this professional stream. As I have said many times, streaming is my side gig, okay? It's a part of my hustle, but it's not my main thing, okay? I'm just trying to put out a show to launder my site so I can go back to my fucking coding hole, okay? Thank you. Hawaiian Zine for 10 says, spending almost a decade trying to write himself into the Christian universe world as the hero of the story is the next level insanity. Good monologue. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's so pathetic. It's so fucking pathetic because it's like, Vordrak, I understand. Like, I get it. Everything he's done is horrible. He's a terrible, malicious prick, and his shit fucking life is 100% deserved, and he'll die alone because he's a horrible fucking cunt. But I get it. Like, he's upset about a very specific thing. I didn't fucking do it, but he holds it against me because everybody does, because it's just like what you do. You get mad at me. Nothing happened. Nothing happened with this guy. Nothing, like, he has zero fucking reason to be upset. And he just is. And it's like, just get the fuck over it. Get the fuck on with your life. Is that really what you're going to do with the rest of your fucking life? It's not like for humor. It's not like people who just think, oh, if I A-log this guy, he'll spurg out. It's not an ideological reason like Liz Fong Jones. It's not a personal vendetta like Vordrak. It's just, you're a fucking loser and you're upset that you didn't get what you want at a Christian? Like, why live? If that is what actually motivates you to wake up in the morning, why live? Your life serves no purpose. You should kill yourself now. Okay? Brokeback Phil for 5 says, the most Jewish car brand has to be Fiat, the Italian car company Jewish. Apparently you're fucking wrong. It's a Toyota Sienna. I appreciate your input, though. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 5 says, the secret ceiling cat meow, but like in echoes, like meow. I don't know. Apparently when people hear a squeak, hear my chair squeak, they think, the cat's there. Who knows? Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, we need better null conspiracy theories. Where the null had plastic surgery in Serbia to look like David Hasselhoff shads on. Are you thinking that I'm a looks maxer? Am I on my looks maxing arc? That would make sense. That would make more sense than a lot of stuff. Borello Furman for 1 says, think about it. For 1 says, I was wondering when you mentioned the literal anti-Josh squad. I won't name specifics because they probably get off mentioning them, but it really does sound annoying. It's not even. It's just bizarre. It's like, I can't say too much because I run the Kiwi Farms. I know that there are people with like weird hate boners, but it's just like, it's just so bizarre. It's like, I don't fucking know you. I don't get it. For a lot of them, I just don't fucking get it. It's like, who the fuck are you? How do you possibly have the energy to care about that kind of shit? And it's always a weird thing where it's like, on one hand, it would be really nice if I had like a huge personal army like Chibi Reviews and I could just shut people down that are fucking like horrible cunts. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, it's like if you feed the trolls, it's like a bad idea. So I'm kind of like always on this line where it's like, I wish I could do more to like defend myself against people who are being fucking obnoxious. But at the same time, it's like, I can't really. There's one person, and it's not this guy, and it's not Vordrak, but there is one person in particular who is very high up on my shit list right now. And that'll probably be next stream because I'm I'm really on the fucking fence. And when I posted the Fediverse thing, I had them in mind. And I'll give you a hint. It's not anybody who would think it's them, because it's a woman. And I'm real fucking close to going full Blockland. Okay. I'm there. I'm pissed. One in polls for 5 says, here's some kicks. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Big things coming for 2 says, thanks for all the work you do, Jarsh. Have a nice weekend. Also, I had good ice cream today. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. The Peen Wienerstein for 1 says, the floor is slanted because Patrick's walking. I'm shocked it didn't collapse under his method. I mean, that's a testament to his handyman skills, okay? That just means that he's a great carpenter. Chorgan Squirmhammer donated or subscribed for 14 months. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Colya Dante for 10 says, the Kashimu VT account in the comments of the Chibi video is the retard who tried to recommend harmful opinions PDF Gunner audio. Listen to this expose. Okay. I will. Let's see. This better be good. 17 minutes. The creepiest VTuber ever by harmful opinions.
Following a recent video I made, I was contacted on Discord by the LogCon VTuber, Kashimu. She told me a couple of things that I agreed would
Oh, I recognize this. This was, yeah, I do recognize this.
remain off the record regarding her nearly 9,000 strong community on Twitter. But she also discussed with me something that was public knowledge regarding the behavior of the antis, as they call them. She said, look, for example, today they just banned a friend, also a lollytuber, with 6,000 followers and a community. Not small, let's say. Naturally, I asked, who's your friend? In response, she linked me one of her tweets. It says, Bitty is one of the healthiest and nicest content creators I've been lucky to meet. She has personally helped me a lot with a private matter.
You can't convince me that these people are different than trannies. Being a lolicon is like the right-wing version, and it is oddly right-wing, of being a tranny. Because it is a dysfunctional sexual fetish that has transformed into an identity. And it masquerades as being like vaguely right-wing because it takes an anti-censorship position. And I think it's sort of like how, as the left identity is about maximalizing acceptance and maximalizing identity politics, on the right, it's like this purity spiral. And these people are obsessed with purity. And if you're that obsessed with purity, the only way you can be super sure that what you're having sex with is innocent is to go for a child. And it's just like the far opposite what's the term, horseshoe theory thing, where it's like you're so far into this fucking abstract concept of what anti-censorship and anti-degeneracy is that you've gone completely around, and now you're just obsessed with wanting to fuck kids. And this is like a perfect example of it. And it's like you can't convince me that they have a right to live and that they're any different. It's really fucking gross. Steendo for 1 says, autistic people need sounds for their donos. Maddie, $100 super chats in 2023, 2024. Thank you for the money. I will spit it on drugs. It's true. It's true. Back in the day when I had dono alerts before I got banned by PayPal again, my secret business PayPal account, I did have donation alerts, and the $100 one was a very funny Keffels. Thanks for the money. I'm going to spend it on drugs, which was a great soundbite. Cody Dante for 5 says, Kashimu is named in the first 30 seconds. I did. I played the video and I found it. Thank you. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 5 says, hypothetically speaking, if you had a secret ceiling feline, what would you name it? A secret cat, obviously. I wouldn't have a choice at this point. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, my family cat is subjected to NPR whenever he's left alone. So I play old Natty episodes for him to make sure he ends up a little bit racist. I think all cats are a little bit racist. Have you ever seen a black person with a cat? I don't think so. Thank you. Peen Wienerstein for 10 says, happy Friday afternoon, everyone. Thank God it's Friday. I haven't heard thank God it's Friday as an expression in a very long time. Oh, it's the boy.
Happy Friday afternoon. Now we've done it. We've got to the end of the week. We have locked up our warehouse. We have parked up our vans. We have logged off our computers. And I've quickly popped into my favourite local pub for a cheeky pint of beer. And look, a little bit of early dinner because the wife, I love her dearly, but her cooking ain't that great. And we've got a stunning beef and ale pie, a bit of mashed potatoes, baked beans in a pot, which I think is wrong, but it's happened anyway. And of course, a bit of gravy. And you know me, I never look when I pour, because I am the absolute governor. Now listen, guys, hope you had a great week. Keep on smashing life. Keep giving it 110%. And don't go home until you're proud. And listen, cheers to you all. You deserve it. A bosh.
When I watched this video, at one point, and I said something like, a guy that positive is positive because he's experienced darkness and he knows, he's learned to share positivity with the world. And I got a reply to that video soundbite of some asshole saying something like, stop projecting, Josh. Some people are just nice. I was like, fuck you. I think my read is right. Okay. I don't think people are just born super positive. They have to face the fork in the road and choose to be positive. He's rich. That's a good idea. He could also just be rich. He murdered somebody. What? You guys are just full of shit. Docs found for 5 says Billy Mitchell did cheat at Donkey Kong though. Well, if you look at the way that the girders load when comparing that specific version of Donkey Kong with this specific version of MAME, the Donkey Kong sprite loads in first between these girders, and that's proof that it's MAME version XYZ, and so the King of Kong is actually... Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking about speedrunning a 50-year-old arcade game? I'm afraid I don't give a fuck. I'm afraid it's like, oh, you're cheating at Valerant? Oh, they deserve to have their computers bricked because they're cheating at like a mixed race mutt baby game owned by the Chinese? You're losing me. You're losing me. Videograms for 5 says, PPP mentioned to you film restorations on 4K Blu-ray. He's right. Modern restorations of film shot movies are in proper OLED televisions are amazing. Yeah, I know they're doing that when they can. Because back in the day when they shot on film, you can take that film and you can rerun it and digitize it at whatever fucking resolution you want. So if there was a film copy of the film that is preserved, they will sometimes blow it up. I can't remember the last movie I watched that I watched as a 4K remaster. I haven't watched Fight Club in a long time. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, Trump has failed. I've been gay married to a fat furry with big tits with a collection of bad dragons. It's never been this over. This is woke America. This is real. I don't know what to say to this. Thank you. Pancake Luchador for 5 says, have a good one, Noel. And that one furry song sounds like audio diarrhea. Yeah, you have to have an open mind to listen to outsider art music like that. Stina Stanny for 1 says, imagine internalizing the get out normies meme, especially as a fucking Redditor. Jesus Christ, how horrifying. When you say internalizing like that, it reminds me of Disco Elysium. Like when you have thoughts and you internalize them, it's like autistic people, they get that bubble over their head and then they're like, get out normies and like the internal monologue starts spinning and then they internalize it. And that's just their personality forever moving forward. Hamburger for 2 says, soft kitty, secret kitty, hidden ball of fur, stealthy kitty, private kitty, purr. Thank you. Elk's Antler for 5 says, Mr. Moon, if you want a partnership, you could ask Worski to call Evil Eddie. He has his number and they seem to be friends. I don't know if it's mutually beneficial for Evil Eddie to align himself with the devil. Maybe that would be a monkey paw. It would cause the imminent death of Kick. Sneeden for 5 says, Josh, is this true? And then there's a YouTube link, even though this is a $5 super chat. That will be nice. Also, did you tell PPP that Digital Circus has hundreds of millions of views? Yes, I did. He said that's fucking horrifying. He didn't want to know that. You've sent this video like 8 million times. Wait, what the fuck is this? Brian Tremaine Capel Foxman. I have sex with Joshua Connor Moon, Noel from Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms. Why is he saying this information when an entitled girl gets instantly humbled with the big throbbing police humble stick? Dude, I'm telling you, 8 trillion views for that banger right there. Why is he in the lavatory of an airplane when he's saying this? Very confusing. Hamster for 5 says, you can come to my house for memorial. I have Old Bay for your hot dogs. What about for my vodka? Thank you. Optivia Sales Rep for $20 says, busy today, good stream. Have a great holiday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Big things coming for once that I've decided to have another ice cream. Here's your opportunity to call me fat. It's Memorial Day weekend, bro. Eat your ice cream. Katad for 1 says, you would like the boys spinoff Gen V. One of the characters' superpower is literally being a truant. I don't think I would like that, actually. Unshat shit for 10 says, triangles are overrated. You should use the flexitone. Here's the thing. Is it in this? You hear it? That's it. Is that the fuck that is? Dude, that's crazy. This is what I mean. I have like this, I don't know anything about music, but I have like super audio autism. And if I hear something, it's like, I have like crazy recollection. And it sends me into a fucking fit. If I'm thinking of a song and I can't find it, I will like search for it endlessly until I can find the song. And it has literally sent me into like 8-hour-long frenzies trying to figure out where a song was. And I only have like half of like a sound in my memory, and it's like a complete fucking SPAC attack. Anyways, very interesting. Tech Controller for 25 says, here's a taste of why you should watch Space King. Okay, let's see. Oh god, this is like some Warhammer shit, bro.
Some aliens are single mothers on a genetic level. I wonder if it affects the behavior of the children. Curious. Tell them about per capita. I'm getting to it.
That's funny. 8 million views? That's surprising. Is this what all the fascists like? Isn't this the animated show where they like murder a bunch of furries? Look, you don't need to pander to me. I'm not a fucking libtard, low IQ troglodyte, okay? I don't have to be pandered to in my media. Thank you. Ratlord 111 for 3 says, there are ghosts, which I assume is a Hambly reference, I think. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, after refreshing the page, it updated to Mad at the Internet. I am felted. You are fucking felted. I changed it live on stream. I even said I was changing it. Thank you. Cino for 1 says, shout out to that purple Lee nigga tax brass. Oh yeah, the chairman who has a YouTube channel. Yeah, shoutouts to him. Shoutouts to the chair guy. Patrick Sneedson for 5 says, where are the stickers, Joshy boy? Or was I late and gay? They're coming next week. You can probably even check Maddie as of Monday. It'll probably be up. Thank you. Sneedo for 2 says, I don't know if you saw this, and then there is a link to the Kiwi Farms. Game journals give a shout out to Juice. Okay, let's see.
Like a community thing. And then, I just wanted to include one more from just this random user, xJosh, who echoes how I feel about this. When your live service game only has 169,000 diehard fans logging in every day, and it's like a poof emoji. And he's quote tweeting Kiwi Farms, who is showing off, I don't know who Kiwi Farms is. I think they do interviews. Anyway, he's showing off the total player base from the API. You still have 169,000 players signing in every day versus whatever's going on Marathon.
My social media outreach program is bearing fruits. That's a fucking Games Journal moment there. I was thinking when I published this, this is one of those things where you post it on the internet and you're like, yeah, this is a fucking banger right here. This is a fucking banger tweet. It's true though. I even said on the stream, it's like they have 170,000 people logging in to play this shit every fucking day, and it's not enough. How much money do you need? How much money do you need to make a profitable video game? It's like, I think it is the issue with like AWS. It's like no fucking company on earth has the wherewithal or the brain power in their companies to self-host their games anymore. So they have to lease like the most expensive subletting system ever conceived, AWS, with some of the highest profit margins ever fucking recorded in the history of mankind to run these services. Amazon makes so much fucking money off AWS. You can't even fucking conceive it. And instead of just self-hosting their machines and running this shit out of one data center or two data centers if you have, or three even if you have a huge player base on 3 different continents, like instead of just running that and letting it run itself and collecting fucking dividends for the rest of eternity off your live service, you have to continually be growing to make up for the losses of AWS eating into your profits. It's just nonsense. Like if you knew what the fuck you were doing, you could run Destiny and make a profit for the rest of your life. Like one person could theoretically keep Destiny afloat and just keep making money. I don't know. Peen Wiener scene for once is, what happened to the bullets again? I forgot. Oh, when I switched over to the new system, I broke it. I haven't fixed it because I've been working on the forum instead. Sorry. Stealthy Geek for 5 says, my deck is beautifully constructed. My deck is beautifully constructed, Stalker. The 7-inch slant and abstract railings are intentional, Stalker. Enjoy prison. It could be true. After all, Patrick Tomlinson is a winner, and I dare not question his judgment. Thank you. Docs Found for 5 says, I searched, but could not find that comic you mentioned on the Kiwi Casino with the aliens confining human brains in balls and dropping them into forever hell. I remember though. I saw this for the first time on 4chan, like on B, like more than 15 years ago, I want to say. So to recap, PPP and I were talking about this social media presentation of like hell and how it's a recurring theme in The Amazing Digital Circus and Black Mirror and a bunch of other stuff where like there's an episode of Black Mirror where I think it's the Christmas episode where there's like a pedophile or child murderer. So they put his subconscious into like a holodeck and they run it at like a simulation where he's just trapped in nothing, simulating 1,000,000 years a second, and they leave it on overnight. And it's just supposed to be like the worst thing you can possibly imagine, like being stuck as like this AI that can't sleep, has nothing to do, and you're just fucking going crazy because you're stuck forever and ever in like this tormenting hell. And the first time I ever encountered this concept, it was a comic that I saw on 4chan where it was 2 aliens and a human drops down or is like abducted by them or something. And alien 1 is talking to alien B. And the human is screaming because they're like abducted. And he's like, oh, it's a noisy thing. So he cuts his head off with a saw and then sticks the head onto the bottom half of a sphere. And the head is like resuscitated and starts screaming. And he's like, in this ball will keep them alive for 100,000 years. And it will stop them from it'll project directly into their brainstem the most horrific things they could possibly imagine, all their worst fears and constant agony. And then the final frame is they drop the ball into this gigantic pit of other orbs. And the implication there is that the alien is just like mass dissecting humans and submitting them to this kind of like eternal forever torment. And I remember when I saw this, I was very young. I was like a young teenager, and it made me very uncomfortable, and I thought about it for like days after seeing it. And I developed a thought to cope with the existence of this extremely uncomfortable concept. And my thought is just that the human brain like isn't that. And if you took a human and subjected them to something like that, it would develop like a mental scar tissue. Like it would either just start to die and rot, or you would just develop a tolerance to this, and eventually it would just stop mattering altogether. Because it's like I don't think that it's possible to just make someone an absolute abject misery forever, never, never, never. So that was my thought, and I really hate this trope of that they constantly trot out of like, imagine the worst, most terrible thing that never ends forever and ever and ever. And it's like, okay, it's trite now. It's like after Black Mirror and after this shit, it's like I'm so sick of this. There's even a post I remember on X a long time ago where it was like, the Christian mythology really undoes itself with the concept of hell. Because it's forever. The idea is that you burn in the most agonizing lake of fire forever and ever and ever. And it's just so horrible and so terrible that it sort of like beckons it can't possibly be real. And it undermines the entire faith. And it's like, even if it was like 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years, as long as it ended sometime, then it would be more believable. So I don't know. That's what I was thinking of. I can't find that comic, but I think about this concept a lot because it had like an effect on me, and I don't know. Sneed Soda, subscribe for 10 months. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sneeden for 5 says, I have the same autism. We're trying to figure out what a song is. It took me 5 years to find one song. This is why I always have the Shazam app. Sometimes that doesn't always help, but thank you. Romulank for 10 says YouTube short. Okay, that's probably fucking good. No, fuck you. It's the fucking fish paperback. Fuck off. Citrus Addict for 1 says, biblically canon hell is just the world without God, isn't it? This fiery pits. No, it very explicitly says that it's like it specifically says like the fires of hell. It's not like, oh, it's a world without God. It's like very specifically fire. And Haramburger for 2 says, and it's a YouTube link, and let's take a look. It's 2.5 hours, bro, and it's anime. I'll take a look at this soon since stream's almost over. Can't wait. My guilty pleasure. Fuck you. Okay, that's it. We're done. Oh, I will raid Pacon1 on Kick if he's still up after the music thing. But I have a very, very special musical outro by a dear... someone I'm personally a fan of. Oh, that's Skibidi Biden. That's the wrong one, actually. Where did this go? Oh, here we go. Okay. No, sorry. I was not going to play Skibidi Biden again. This is what I got. All right. See you guys next Friday, unless I do a PvP thing later. Oh, no. I might do Stray over the weekend. We'll see. I might do that on Saturday, Sunday. So, whatever. I'll be back at some point. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
We getting APAC money. We getting APAC money. We getting APAC money. We getting APAC money. I got so much silver, so much gold, so many politicians under my toes. I got my side making moves from the inside. Know what's flood, crude oil, mud, Moloch's chalice filled with children's blood. Bought the jury, bought the judge, got the whole White House filled with bugs. Paid off Congress behind closed doors, blackmailed senators with my whores. USA fighting my wars. Underage boys, we use them like toys. Young girls get pearls from gold. If you want the money, you will do what we tell you. And if you say no, we will simply just graves, we dig them. Elections, we rig them. Claim all our ops suffer anti-Semitism. Christ is king. That's illegal under our regime. Now kiss the wall, let me hear the boys sing. We getting APAC money. 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 Hold up. Hold up. Hey yo, let me just say a little thing about this. I wanna see your foreskin, I wanna be at your brists. I wanna be a vampire, let me suck on your I wanna see your European countries turning this. Wanna circumvent your politics, I want control. Wanna make you my slave, that's my ultimate goal. I wanna pick apart your culture, wanna make you my There ain't nobody stopping me, you ain't doing shit. Why? Is that a serious question? Are you really asking me that? Have you not read Elie Wiesel's Night? Have you not watched The Pianist? Schindler's List? Name a Holocaust movie. What the fuck is wrong with y'all motherfuckers? And now I'm thinking about it, I got something else to say. So get ready for this. For them. Hey yo, Charlie Kirk, those Hamas little kids in Gaza. We gon' turn that shit to a fucking beach resort, Goyim. Iran, Hezbollah, Tom Massey, you better protect your neck. Nick Fuentes, you can suck my dick. Candace Owens, alien-eyed, nappy-headed, you can suck my Ian Carroll, shave that shit off your lip and suck my dick. Let me think. Oh yeah, Tucker, you better pucker, cause we coming in f***ing hot, so get your ass ready, mother. Dave Smith, each just quit, but first, suck my Lindsey Graham, hey, thank you, ma'am. You and Ted Cruz can drink from my bedpan, you f***ing goy. We got you good, boy. Spend that money on rest stop. Hey, yo, Trump, let's get that third temple built. Where the f*** are red heifers at? You owe us, motherfucker. We run this. You shouldn't have been f***ing with them underage kids anyway. You're all on the list, Doyle. Dreidel, motherfucker. Check your f***ing pages, motherfucker. Let's see what pops off. Rest in peace, Epstein.